Hi everyone. Hello, welcome in to a Chill Wednesday stream. It's been a while since we've done like a kind of just chatting stream. Granted, it's a just chatting stream with a twist. But hello, welcome in, hello. Hope you're all having a good day. Yeah. I've had a pretty decent day. I got my hair done. It's been a while. It's needed a trim and like shaping up and everything like that. I'm actually trying something a little bit different with my fringe. Or bangs, I think Americans call it. Nothing like drastically different. I've had the same kind of fringe for a while. Yeah, Chappie is here. Oh Lord, Twitter broke the car. She's doing a stream like this today. No, something like that. It's just, I saw a thread that I figured would be a fun stream idea for like a Wednesday stream. Because I want to do more streams, like just chatting streams. So yeah, but we'll wait. We'll give it like, let's give it like 5 minutes. And then we'll crack on with it. I think I'm gonna try and do that now as well. Is have it so that like I start about 5 minutes before, or like the just starting screen will be like 5 minutes before the actual start time, and then we have about 5 minutes of like just chatting for a bit, and then that way people can come in. Everything. How's the arm doing? So I really am starting to think it's carpal tunnel. I'll be honest. It's in my right arm, or hand, I should say. And the best way I can describe it now is it's definitely like a numbness to my like specific fingers on my right hand. And looking it up more, apparently they're the fingers that, you know, get numb or tingly with carpal tunnel. That's your drawing hand? Yes, it's my dominant hand. It's my right. I'm right-handed. Still a bit stiff? Yeah, stiff. I can't really make a full fist. Like physically, I can't. Like, I suppose I guess I could, but it would be really forcing it. Yeah, the kind of like it's my index and middle finger and my thumb on my right hand that are feeling it the most. They're like numb on the fingertips. And again, apparently that is a symptom of carpal tunnel. I mean, I'm not going to diagnose myself because I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the means. I'm just going based off like, you know, NHS websites and everything. I should hopefully get a like full answer and diagnosis on Friday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I'm seeing a physiotherapist this time around for my doctor's appointment. And apparently they can actually tell, I've heard, if you have carpal tunnel or not. You should go to a doctor. Already way ahead of you. I've already been. This is actually technically my second time going about this, because I've had this for a month. And originally I went because it was definitely more in my finger joints, and I was worried that I inherited rheumatoid arthritis from my mother. And I went to get blood tests to check that. And thankfully, no rheumatoid factors or what have you came back with the blood test, so that's fine. Then it started to feel a bit more tingly and numb. And my left hand is still a bit sore, but it's not like, it's nowhere near as bad. So I booked another appointment. Thankfully, I was able to get one this Friday, thank God. With a physiotherapist, and hopefully, like I said, they'll be able to confirm if it's carpal tunnel or like maybe hopefully fix it. I don't know. It could just be a strain, but considering that it's gone on for a month at this point, nearing 2 months, I'm kind of worried it's carpal tunnel. Hopefully it's not the type where it's so severe that you need to get the surgery. Because I've heard that whilst the surgery itself is obviously like, you know, it's simple, you don't have to stay overnight or anything, apparently the recovery time is long. Like, to the point where I probably wouldn't be able to stream games for a month or so, or something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking way ahead. Like, we don't know. I'm just assuming it is at the moment, just because of the symptoms. You may want to look into a carpal tunnel brace if you do get diagnosed. I mean, I'm wearing wrist splints at the moment. Like I'm wearing them during the night at the moment. And I don't know if it's really like helping. Sometimes it feels like they're kind of making it worse. I don't know. One step at a time. Exactly. I mean, you guys at this point are already aware. This is why I'm updating you guys more so for those who like I owe art to. Thankfully, I've been able to get like all the art raffle prizes out, so that's done. My main concern is commissions, right? Because I still owe commissions to people. Some of you are probably in chat, and I can't apologize enough for how long it's taken. It's honestly been because of this hand situation. First it was a heat wave, and now it's my hands. So that's more so what I'm concerned about, because I don't want people to think I'm like scamming. You know what I mean? There are artists out there that do kind of scam, or like they have such a backlog of art and they never get them done. I never want people to think I'm like that, if that makes sense. Which is why I'm updating you guys. But also just being transparent, because again, if it is a point where I have to not game, essentially, like, it will mean that streams will probably be very different. You're a slug? Cole, I don't want to hear it from you, alright? Again, fingers crossed that it's not any. If it is carpal tunnel, I'm keeping fingers crossed that it's like minor and it's like fixable, if that makes sense. But I won't know until Friday, unfortunately. Why did Twitch on my phone crash? Hold on. This requires surgery in the worst cases. From what I've heard, it's yeah, Twitch is down on my phone. Sorry, hold on. I think the internet on my phone died. We should kind of crack on some opinions before we all cry. I mean, it's nothing to cry about. I mean, I would be more upset if I was told, like, hey, yeah, you can, like, never draw again. Then I would be upset. You know what I mean? Then it would be... this music would not be playing right now. It's more so I'm just updating you guys. Because, I mean, first off, people asked how I was doing in that regard. But also, you know, just as a general update, that I'm kind of thinking, I'm leaning up more on the theory that it's probably carpal tunnel, but we won't know. And plus that is to say, hey, by the way, cautionary tale as well for any artists, or even if you're not an artist and you just game a lot, look after your hands, take breaks, stretch, do wrist exercises. Because a lot of this is because I didn't take enough breaks. I didn't stretch enough. You know. So I'm also kind of saying this as a cautionary tale for people. It's really important, especially if you're an artist or work a lot with your hands. Yeah, Tim Curry died. What the fuck is going on lately, by the way? I promise we'll go on to Sonic in a second. What is going on at the moment? First, we released Dolly Parton yesterday. And now Tim Curry. And it's like, what the fuck? Tim Curry, honestly, like, Dolly Parton upset me, but Tim Curry's really hit me hard. I don't know why. Like, that really, like, ooh, it kind of got to me. It kind of got to me. So, rest in peace to those two, obviously. Like, legends, absolute legends. Definitely both left behind legacies in their own way, you know? Dolly Parton with her music, and then Tim Curry with his acting. So yeah, other than that, right, it's been about 10, or not 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So yeah, let's crack on with it. So the main gist today, I suppose, should I just get, yeah, let me switch over screens. The main gist today, is this thread that I saw on Twitter by the user, I'm gonna mispronounce this, at cpixel, cpixlcp, or Davers. They made this thread titled Unpopular Opinions on Sonic Characters, and it's literally a tweet per character saying like unpopular opinions on this character, right? Very simple. And I thought it'd be a fun stream idea for me to kind of be like, hey, let's do this. This is stream material, and everything. You guys are more than welcome to join in as well in chat. I think what I'm gonna do to make it a bit more fun is I'm going to say one unpopular opinion. I'm gonna say one, my like, probably not my top unpopular opinion per character, but like, you know, what's one like unpopular opinion that I have about a specific character, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense as we go on. Also, as you can see, the coffee goal is back to normal. We're back to the usual kind of coffee donations. So for those who weren't aware, prior to the Sonic 06 stuff, we do these kind of stream donation goals on Coffee. It should be the pinned comment in both the Twitch and YouTube chats, where it's just for funsies. It's not mandatory, but it's kind of like a community, like a community pot. Is that the right term I'm thinking of? Like donation pool for like fun stream ideas. So sometimes it'll be like an outfit for the VTuber model, which obviously the money goes directly to Danny, aka Cutie Cat, who does this model because it's so cute. Or stuff like this, where hey, do you want to see me poop my pants because I'm a wuss when it comes to horror games? Well, do I have good news for you? The next stream goal is a full playthrough of Alien Isolation, which is technically a Sega title, but also I really love the first Alien movie. And the goal is $1,000. The reason why it's $1,000 is because I will be terrified. I'm kind of dreading it, but I think it'll also be funny and good content. But I want to delay it as much as I can. So, you guys have a long road ahead. 17% of the goal. Don't say ew, everyone poops. Listen, no matter what race, gender, sexuality, everyone shits. We're all full of shit. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove it with receipts. $1,000 is a major stretch. Exactly. Exactly. But life is a highway. You're so right, idea maker. Damn. I know, profound, right? I have my moments. Oh, you're the creator of the Fred's in chat. Hi, I'm the creator of the Fred. I haven't been very active in the Sonic community lately. I don't understand how it became relevant again. It's unfortunately never really truly died. It's like... What's a good example? It's like a creature that can never die. It's like that one annoying fly that keeps appearing in your house. Like, you hear it, it's like... Zzz, zzz. It's like that, right? And you're like, where's that fucking... Where is it? Where's that fly? Where is it? I know I see it. And like, you see it, but then you lose it, and it keeps like appearing throughout different points of the day. Like different points in the day. And like, you're sure you kill it at one point, but then it doesn't die, and you're like, damn it! Anyway, that's like the Sonic community. That's like the Sonic community. Essentially. Also, hold on, I'm just gonna adapt. So why is...
Comparing the Sonic community to bugs is absolutely diabolical.
That's embarrassing. How did I mute myself? How did I mute myself? Wait, when did I stop talking? When did I stop talking? When did I— Shut up! Shut up! When did I stop talking? When did that happen? God damn it. 10 seconds? Oh, Christ. Alright, so I was saying pretty much that the reason why the Sonic fandom has become prevalent, or like Sonic's become more obvious again in like mainstream stuff, is because of all the brand deals and collabs.
Wow, nice one, Nicole.
Shut up! It's because of all the brand deals and collabs that Sega have done with Sonic. So like Fortnite, there's a lot more t-shirts and like lunch boxes around. Yeah. I thought you muted it on purpose. No. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was totally on purpose. Don't even worry about it. But that's why Sonic's around more. But thank you for making this friend and thank you for joining stream. So yes, I've talked about the coffee dono thing. Oh yeah, coffee dono not mandatory, and you're more than welcome to donate via like bits or super chats. It's completely up to you. It's just for fun. Yeah, and the coffee alert should be back to normal now. But obviously we'll see if it's not. I gotta stop assuming you have things covered. That's a good idea, yeah. As always, Chappie is here. Yeah, and like I said, I'm personally just going to do one unpopular opinion per character because there are a lot of characters to get through. I can't promise we'll get through them all. But I just think it'll be fun. And again, chat, feel free to say your unpopular opinions per character as well. Let's make this fun. Alright, I think let's crack on. So first, obviously, Sonic. Unpopular opinions on Sonic. What's my one unpopular opinion on Sonic? Oh, I think Roger is the best Sonic voice. I think Roger Craig Smith is very talented. I think he's been screwed over massively by the voice direction. He's very capable of doing a much better Sonic voice than we've kind of seen him do in some games. Because they tell him to go really low sometimes for like no reason, even though he's very capable of doing a higher pitched voice. He, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I should say, disclaimer, my opinions. Yeah, I think he definitely captures Sonic's cocky attitude the best, and kind of general assholiness. So yeah, Roger, in my opinion, is the best Sonic voice. Though another one, I know I said only one opinion per character, but another one I just thought of that I don't think I've said before. Sonic is kind of meant to. Actually, I'm gonna replace my unpopular opinion slot or one popular opinion thing for Sonic. That Sonic was always meant to be an asshole. And there's a lot of people that kind of say, oh, Sonic would never be a dickhead or an asshole or cocky or arrogant, when literally the whole marketing for Sonic when he debuted in the 90s was, you know, against, like, if you put him against Mario, he's an asshole. He's such a dick. He like fights against the system. He's radical, he's cocky, he's got an attitude, he's rude. You know, in comparison to Mario, where Mario was more like, oh, look at that, nice young man. And then Sonic was the dickhead. And so I think, I like Sonic being a dickhead, and I think it's fine. And I think people being like, Sonic would never be cocky or an asshole to
Sonic
people.
and Sonic X is the worst Sonic ever. Worse than Sonic 06.
Ah, interesting. Why? Just out of curiosity. But yeah, no, Sonic's always been a dickhead, and I think people being like, Sonic would never be an asshole like that, and be like, oh, big oof and all that. Yes, the fuck he would. He's always been like that, and that's fine. He's a flawed protagonist in that way. You know what I mean? Like, he already doesn't have much to him in terms of like, he has like no backstory basically. So let him at least have a flawed personality where he is an asshole sometimes. But he's still good. He's literally kind of the definition of actions speak louder than words.
Why? 'Cause of Chris, that's why.
Fair enough. But like, actions speak louder than words with Sonic. It's like a prime example of that. yeah, I think that I'll have that be my unpopular opinion for this stream for Sonic. Is that he's an arsehole. He's always kind of meant to be an arsehole, and that's fine. It's in character for him. So yeah. Sorry, I just like reset my model for a sec. Alright. So next is Eggman. Eggman. Oh god, what's an unpopular opinion for him? It's related to Eggman. Yeah, I think it counts. So I would say my unpopular opinion for Eggman is that I wish that Sega would cut it out with the whole Sonic and Eggman working together. What? They've done it so many times. And every single time they act like it's a big deal. Ironically enough, the only time where they didn't actually act like it was a massive deal that Eggman was working with Sonic and the crew was Sonic 06. But all the other times, like Lost World, in a way SA2, Frontiers, I believe they also did it. They were like, they're kind of like hyper-focused on the fact that, oh, we have to work with Eggman. What? That's impossible. How can we work with him? It's like, it's happened several times. And I don't want them to do it again. I think it's fine for them to occasion, like, we need a break of it being a case where Eggman is the antagonist, but then actually there's like a bigger antagonist, like a monster or something. And then Sonic has to work with Eggman in the final act of the game. It's been done. I like the approach that Unleashed had, and Adventure 1 had, where, sure, have Eggman work with monsters again, or like powerful beings, and the powerful being / monster being like the main kind of antagonist. But then just have it so that Eggman gets like kind of fucked up by that power or monster or what have you. Like, it doesn't always need to be a case where Eggman joins the good guys, if that makes sense. Yes, it could be argued that if they keep doing the whole Eggman gets tricked by the power that he or the monster he unleashed or what have you, sure, but like, I don't know, it's I think they've done a decent job of still making him like a main antagonist, but I don't know, I feel like they've also kind of been doing him a little bit where it's like Sonic and Eggman working together. What? I guess just this one, like literally like Pogtoon said, like just this once, 1,000 times later. Or it feels like 1,000 times later. Yeah. I guess that would be my unpopular opinion. Though, actually, I'll get rid of the whole, like, rule of, like, just one opinion. I'll say, like, a couple per character. I think that's the best way to go about it at this point. But another unpopular opinion with Eggman would be that, it does, I know what I just said, but it was also starting to get a bit old with the whole, like, Eggman releases a power or like a monster or something, and then, uh-oh, he gets betrayed by it. Who could have seen that coming? That was also starting to get a little bit old. So, yeah, I think that's it for Eggman. It's kind of similar vibes. Tails! Oh my god, okay, easy. The most underrated Sonic character. And I say this in the sense of both the fandom, but also Sega. What I mean by this is that I'll start with the fandom, right? And a great example would be SonicCon UK. For those who don't know, I was a vendor for the very first time at SonicCon UK. So I was selling like key charms, art prints, badges, stickers, all that shit, right? And I made a collection of key charms and badges, like with the same kind of chibi designs of various Sonic characters. Those characters being Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, and Rouge. And I can tell you, out of all the like merch I sold, the character that sold the least was Tails. Barely anyone bought him, right? And you don't see a lot of Tails merch. You don't see a lot of like both official and fan made. Sega they've definitely sidelined him in favor of like Shadow now. 110% overshadowed by Shadow, right? He is literally the most underrated Sonic character for what he is. He builds the planes and the tech that helps Sonic. He's literally Sonic's best friend. He is the player too. He is integral to a lot of the stories and like Sonic's personal growth and his own personal growth. He's literally the Luigi to Sonic's Mario, and he's so underrated now. Super underrated. Like, he is an interesting character. He actually has like a phobia. He likes mint candy. Like his phobia being lightning and thunder. He likes mint candy. He's really goddamn intelligent and can like make his own mechs and everything. And like he pretty much made a fake Chaos Emerald. Like that helped Sonic realize, oh, I can harness Chaos Control. He's so important. He's so important. And like the fandom and Sega really overlook him, and it sucks. Like, I wish we had a year of Tails, like especially now with Frontiers, his whole thing being like he's gonna go off on his own and have his own adventures. Give us a year of Tails. Give us a year of Tails. He deserves it. My god, he deserves it. He does deserve more respect. That's my unpopular opinion, and the reason why it's unpopular is because I don't see nearly enough people talk about that. From what I've seen, I've not seen many people have the same opinion in the fandom. But he is the most underrated Sonic character by far. Are there characters that also are underrated? Absolutely. However, given the role that Tails is supposed to have in the series, he is the most underrated character. Absolutely. Like, without a question for me. Let me see what chat's saying, actually. He needs a popularity buff. Yep. He needs more respect. Absolutely. They literally do nothing with him these days. Exactly. I think they ruined Tails' character in the Genesis days. He was just a little kid who talented enough to help Sonic to just a nerd. Hashtag bring back classic Tails. Really? Interesting, because I feel like opposite. I think they definitely made him more interesting by making him like a kid, like a Jimmy Neutron-esque type character. Minus some of Jimmy Neutron's ego. Like, that's the thing. I like that he's not egotistical. It's almost like it's almost like he's a complete opposite in a way to Eggman, in the sense that he's really intelligent, but he's not egotistical about it. He uses his powers for good. He uses his smarts for good. He's not egotistical. He doesn't show off about it. He's kind of just learning to kind of brag about his successes, as he should. This is why I always defend Tails so much. When like Cole and Scar shit on him, like he's such a great character, and he's so underrated, massively so. That's honestly this is probably the one where it's like I've only got one unpopular opinion with Tails. It's literally that he is the single most underrated character out of all the Sonic characters, whether they're canon or not. He is the most underrated one by far, because he's underrated in both the fandom but also with Sega. Like literally there have been times where Shadow has been in front of him, like in promotional art. Why? I've seen people call Shadow oh, he's the secondary protagonist. No, the fuck he ain't. That's Tails. Tails is the second he should be the second protagonist, but he's not, unfortunately, now. Like, yeah, the player 2 that's behind Shadow. Exactly that, and it sucks. Anyway, I won't harp on this too much, but that's mine. Unpopular, quote unquote unpopular opinion about Tails. Knuckles. Ooh. I actually have to think about this. An unpopular opinion. That's what I gotta consider. Apologies if some of these probably aren't. I'm assuming these are like unpopular. I'm like going based off like why I haven't really seen be talked about. I'm just trying to think. Oh god, I'm actually really struggling here. Oh god. I guess the one that I can think of most that I see, because I see some people say that they prefer when Knuckles was more chill and didn't have like anger issues and like a short temper and everything like that. I honestly prefer him with the temper. I prefer him being a bit more gullible and like he's quick to anger and he gets rage baited easily, right? I like that about him. I think I actually prefer that part of Knuckles. I do like when Knuckles is a bit more serious and like not as, and like a bit more chill and he wasn't as quick to anger. But
I'm surprised there are people who really don't like Knuckles wearing his over hat. He looks real nice in it.
Whoa, actually, that's crazy. But yeah, no, I think I'll say my unpopular opinion about Knuckles is that I prefer him as kind of how he's been written since, like Sonic X onwards, where he's more of a hothead and he's more temperamental and he's the one character where you can rage bait him pretty easily. I think nowadays Sega have found a bit of a good balance. They kind of seem to be leaning more towards him being a bit more chill now. So I would like them to kind of showcase him being a bit more angry and like...
Sonic Heroes was a one-time game that didn't need a sequel even for the time.
Ooh. Interesting. But yeah, I think I'll go with that for unpopular opinion of Knuckles, is that like I kind of like when he's angry. I like when he's angry and a bit more like, I don't want to say like the comic relief, but like he's a hothead and I like that about him, and I kind of want Sega to bring that back a little bit. Yeah. Let's see what the chat's saying. Let's see. Gives him a good contrast to the team. No, exactly. It literally gives him a really good contrast between like him and Sonic and Tails and everything. And it also like it invites really funny interactions between him and Sonic. Like that's why I really like Sonic
One
X
of the
so
recent
much.
IDW issues he was in had him yell at Sonic, so it's not completely gone.
Yeah, so hopefully they bring that into like the game stuff again. I would also say I want them to bring back Knuckles and Rouge fighting, but I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Yeah, okay. I think let's go Knuckles. Where's Amy? Oh, she's there. Okay. Oh, I think it's in order of appearance. Okay, that's fine. I was about to get I was about to get kind of salty. It's fine. Okay. Metal Sonic. Ooh. Okay, I gotta think about this a bit more. I don't know if this is unpopular. So correct me if I'm wrong in terms of this is popular or not. He is Sonic's main rival in the series. Because obviously Sonic throughout the years has had like so many rivals. You know, he's had Knuckles, he's had Shadow, he's had Jet, he's had obviously Metal Sonic, Silver to a degree, Blaze and everything like that. But honestly, to me, when I think who is Sonic's rival, it's not Shadow, it's Metal Sonic. So I think that would be my unpopular opinion, because I see a lot of people say that, oh, who's Sonic's rival? It's Shadow. And yes, don't get me wrong, Shadow is his rival. Sonic has he has a line, he has a queue of people who are his rivals. I just personally, when I'm asked who in your mind is like Sonic's main rival, it's Metal Sonic. Absolutely. Nicole's wrong opinions? How dare you? Never mind, that's correct. There you go. But no, yeah, I would say that's my unpopular opinion, because I see a lot of people. Good job, Nicole. How dare you? Hi, Jordan. Jordan, the chat's participant. So if you have, we're going through characters. So you're welcome to join in, because chat's joining in. But yeah, so Metal Sonic is like Sonic's main rival. Not Shadow, but Metal Sonic. Purely because he's very much as well like in a story sense, he's very much Sonic's opposite. He's a robot, first off, so it makes sense because obviously Sonic fights against robots. He looks like Sonic, and he wants to be Sonic, and there's that kind of like beautiful dynamic, especially in the OVA, where it kind of like, it's like they're like parallels of each other almost, if that makes sense. And I love the whole thing where he's constantly like, I'm the real Sonic. I still will never get over some of his best scenes, or one of his best scenes, was in IDW where he was like picking up, he put like his hand in the Zombot goop to see if he will change, and like there's like no speech bubbles or anything, right? No comedy or anything, like it's taken very seriously. He's just like staring at the finger that he put in the goop because nothing's changed, and he just stands there. It's great. I love it. Like yeah, he wants to be superior, and unlike Shadow, where it's like, I want to be superior because that's how they write him nowadays. With Metal Sonic, it's a lot more like you can understand why he views and he wants to be the best Sonic, or better than Sonic. You know, like there's a much deeper meaning. So yeah, I think Metal Sonic is the rival for Sonic. Like, much better rival than Shadow. 110%. Alright, Amy. Okay, I actually do have one. I understand why Sega have toned down Amy. Before anyone attacks me. Let me explain. Hear me out. Do I miss Amy chasing after Sonic and being more crazy? Yes. However, I completely get why Sega have gone down the path that they have with Amy. Because, and people can deny this as much as they want, back in the day when she was more crazy and chasing after Sonic and more quick to anger, fans didn't like it. Not every fan. I personally found it a bit endearing, but also I found it annoying when I was younger, right? Back in the 2000s, she was seen as annoying by fans and non-fans, right? Again, not everyone. I'm not saying every single Sonic fan disliked her, but there were like a good 50% of the fandom that were constantly shitting on her, called her annoying, were calling her a stalker, like, that just found her annoying. Like, that's just the truth of it. Like, there were people that really actually hated her and found her, yeah, to be a pain in the ass. So I get why Sega were like, okay, let's turn it down then. Let's not do that anymore. Let's turn her down. Let's make her a bit more chill. Let's make her sort of more of an even playing field, and stuff like that. And let's not have her chase him around and like almost like a stalker situation, right? And not have her be as like quick to anger and everything like that. So my unpopular opinion with Amy is I completely get it. I get why Sega did that. Do I think they should be revising and like what's the word I'm thinking of? Revising, but also like rebooting? Is that what I'm thinking of? What I'm trying to say is that do I think they should be going back to past titles or bios like Sonic Generations and completely changing it? No. I would love for them to acknowledge in the canon that, you know, she was obsessed with him. She was chasing after him. She was kind of crazy. That's okay. She matured clearly. Like, it's such a great story element to be like, hey, this is a character who's literally grown up. Frontiers is all about characters growing up. You know what I mean? So, like, why not include that for Amy? Why not have her be like, yeah, I was kind of crazy back then. And I still like him, but like, I'm a bit more chill about it now. You know what I mean? I think that'll be a better way to go about it. But I don't know if that's really unpopular though. Because I think we all agree that them trying to kind of get away with the whole like, oh, she just finds Sonic inspiring. And I'm sure she does. But we can't Sega, we know that's not why she went to Little Planet. She went there because the cards told her that her true love was going to be there, which was Sonic. Like, that's why she went in. That's why she was obsessed with him from the get-go. And also, I guess another point, because I see people bringing up the tarot cards. It's not a new concept, the tarot cards. She's always had them. I think literally since the Sega CD debut. That's been a factor for Amy for years. It's just that Sega are now bringing it to the forefront. And I think that's cool. I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's an interesting concept. So yeah, I suppose like my unpopular opinions with Amy are more to do with Sega's handling of her. In the sense that like, again, I completely get the criticism of that people have towards how Sega handle Amy, because I agree. However, I get where Sega are coming from. I get it. 110%. Yeah. I think that's a good like thing for Amy. Oh boy. Big the cat. Okay. Is this unpopular though? Okay. I think I've got one. I don't know how unpopular it is. Also, hold on, let me... I kind of want to fix the Twitch chat. Hold on, give me a second, because it's bugging me. Why is it like cutting off? Hold on. Sorry, bear with. Like the Twitch chat's getting cut off and I don't know why. I do have an unpopular opinion about it, but whilst I'm like kind of doing some tech stuff, you guys list off your unpopular opinions about Big. Actually, let me hold on. I shall real quick, just so that way you guys aren't like having to see the tech stuff I'm doing, because it's gonna be boring. Actually, I can say this while I'm going. So yeah, my unpopular opinion about Big is that I really like him. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm getting it's a little bit, how do I say this? Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I'm like doing two things at once. I think I fixed it. It looks fixed. I think I fixed it. Money hot take, Big needs to be confronted for his crimes. Make him a background character. He's absolutely useless to the main cast. The orphanage didn't need to burn, Big. Okay, yeah, I fixed it. Alright. Oh god. Oh damn it, I need to get to the next one because it's Gamma and we're literally playing his theme. So yeah, my unpopular opinion about Big. I actually like him. I've always liked him. Do I think he could be I'm trying to say, like, I don't know if he's very useful to the franchise. In the sense of like, he was blatantly made to be a background character, and I think that's fine. I think Heroes being kind of his main, and like Adventure obviously being his main games is enough. I don't think he needs to be in like front and center in any more games. Yeah, I think that'll be my unpopular opinion. He doesn't need to be front and center. He's very much made to be a background character, and I think he's kind of served his purpose as a forefront character. I don't mind seeing him, Do not get me wrong. However, he shouldn't be. He should just be a background character. Like have his shtick be what it used to be, which is he's just in the background. Sounds awful, but also include him in like racing games and all that because that is fun. Yeah. I think we'll go with that. I think it's really actually hard to think of one. Alright, Gamma, because this theme's playing. Very, very great timing. Okay. So with Gamma. Ooh. I'm trying to think what's unpopular. Like what's a take that people don't have about Gamma? I don't really see people talk about Gamma, that's the only thing.
The Archie comic making Gamma become Omega is better than the games saying Omega was just sitting in a broom closet.
Interesting. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I would want Sega to feature him in anything else. Because I kind of like the imagery that we had at the end of his story and adventure. Of like, you know, he was a flick, like his flicky that was inside of him is like free and all that, and like, I'm trying to think how to word this. Like, I feel like featuring him in like even like spin-off titles like Rumble and stuff. I love Gamma. Before anyone says anything, I absolutely love Gamma. He's a great character, one of my favorites. However, I think his story is like obviously really sad, and I think it would be hard to kind of take that a little bit more seriously if we include him in games again, even like spin-off games. So I don't think I would want Sega to re-bring him back. I think it's fine if it's like a retelling of the adventure story to obviously feature him, because he's integral to that story. But as much as I love him, I think he shouldn't be in anything. I don't think he should be brought back. Make Gamma and Omega connected. I guess another unpopular opinion, I'm not a fan of that. I like them being their own characters. I don't think we need to tie them together. I know they look similar, but I don't think we need to tie them together. Let them be their own characters. I don't think Omega and Gamma need to be like linked together. I get what Archie were trying to do, but I don't think they need to do that. They show the bird in him in any case of media, or am I wrong? I don't think they do. Oh wait, are you asking like if it was confirmed he had a flicky in him? It was right at the end of his story. It like fades to black pretty quickly, but right before the screen fades to black, you see a flicky. That was it. The flicky that was in him fly towards two other flickies. In the game. All right. Let's move on to Cole. To Cole. Let's see. I also think this is a character that shouldn't be brought back. I think that's pretty unpopular. Listen, but unlike Gamma, I don't mind seeing her in spin-offs, right? I think she, outside of adventure, there's not really much they can do with her, right? I know that Archie kind of tried to do stuff with her, especially like after the Genesis wave. I just think that like her main purpose in adventure was to kind of show the memories of Chaos and the Echidna tribe and the Master Emerald and everything like that. And people kind of treat her like she was this really wise, like almost like, oh god, what am I trying to say? Like omnipotent? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Like this really wise kind of mystical character, when she, at the end of the day, she was just a young girl. No different really much from Amy and Cream. Like, she was a young girl caught in a really shitty circumstance, right? yeah, she's not a goddess, and I think she's definitely portrayed like that, and like really wise and like really beyond her years. I think that's probably what I'm thinking of. And so I think that's why people are like, oh, she could be like brought back and stuff, like as like a spirit to kind of guide Knuckles or anything. When it's like, I never saw her that way. I just saw her as like a young girl who, you know, she you know, again, shitty circumstances involving her at Chaos and the Master Emerald. Yeah, she kind of cares for the Chao and Chaos, and that's kind of about it, really. And obviously she took the prophecy of the Master Emerald and everything really seriously. And so I think it's fine to include her in stuff like Sonic Rumble. Absolutely. And if she ever did appear again in a Sonic game, I wouldn't complain about it. I'll be happy to see her again. But like, I would just question if she's needed in a future title. I think she's served her purpose. I think it's fine to kind of mention her. I just don't think she should have made an appearance again. As cool of a character she is, I just think people put her on a pedestal and like, again, make her seem like this really wise beyond her years character. Like a mystical character when it's not really the case. Would you think as a spirit or just a flashback? Probably a flashback. Because it's not, if she was going to be a spirit that could come out of the Master Emerald anytime she wanted, I feel like that would have been established by now. You know? And she would have done it years ago. She would have done it during Adventure. I mean, yes, okay, actually, hold on, I say that. She did have, like, the little ball fairy thing. That, to be honest, was never explained properly. It was just kind of a thing. But I don't know. I don't know if we need to see her again. Like, don't get me wrong, artwork. So, like, artwork that we see on the left, that's fine. Like, you know, again, that's like social media artwork. It's just for funsies. That's fine. I don't know. I would question the need to bring her back because, you know, Robot Frontiers. Oh, you mean for like the ancients? She wouldn't really know about that. She wouldn't. There was no indication that she was aware of anything like that. So yeah. Alright. Chaos. Bubble Boy. I was about to say he was underutilized in Forces, but that's not an unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Probably tastes like Dasani. Sharda, we're talking about unpopular opinions.
Classic Sonic hot take. Why did they make him cyan in Gens? He was never cyan in the classic games. There's no reason. He's not even younger. I mean, he's just short. This makes no sense.
Let's try and keep it like the character that we're literally focusing on. Classic Sonic will appear, but let's try and keep a focus on like the character that we're actually on. Let me see. Popular opinion about Chaos. Ooh. Oh, I'm actually struggling with some of these. I guess maybe in a similar vein to Cole, he served his purpose. So maybe like I think that maybe I have like the same opinion as I have about Cole, where like I don't necessarily think Chaos needs to be brought back. As hype as it was seeing Kim in the Forces trailer, right? I think I would just question the need to. Yeah. I guess my unpopular opinion would be he served his purpose, and I love Chaos, but like he did serve his purpose. We don't need to rehash him, if that makes sense. I'm actually really struggling with these last two, because I like Takao and Chaos, right? And it's definitely a situation where it's like I wouldn't, if I saw them appear in any like future games, like mainline games, I wouldn't be mad about it, but I can't say if I would be like, if I wouldn't question if this is just for fan service, you know what I mean? So I guess like a combination of Takao and Chaos, my unpopular opinion would be that if they were brought back, it kind of feels like it would be mainly for fan service reasons. In the sense of like, let's make the fans happy because these are two popular characters. For good reason. They're great characters. Yeah. I think that's probably the best I'm gonna get with these two. I struggle with these two, my god. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Gotta be careful here. It's definitely a case of like, again, what's unpopular? Right? Because I feel like if I say he's overrated, is that really an unpopular opinion? Because I don't think it is. And like and judging on him on his writing and calling him like, oh, he's like Vegeta now. That's not unpopular. So I think I might have one. I don't know how unpopular this is. So let me know if it's a popular opinion. I liked Shadow more when he took more of a backseat. In terms of like the stories. Let him say fuck. Yeah, I liked him more when he took when he was more of a backseat character. I definitely feel like, don't get me wrong, he's a very cool character. He has a very good backstory. However, I'm not the biggest, I find myself kind of rolling my eyes almost when I see him now. Because he's just so like almost shoved in our faces now. I understand why, because he's definitely a fan favorite. Like even some non-Sonic fans like know who Shadow is. You know what I mean? Like he's a fan favorite. He's a lot of childhood crushes. He's a very compelling character. Because out of all the main cast, he's actually got a backstory. A lot of the main cast, unfortunately, don't have backstories like he does. I think the only other one that has like a backstory to a degree is Tails, and even then it's very simple. So I get why, but I prefer him when he wasn't a main character, I guess. Like, I don't mind games like 06 because like it wasn't just him, it was Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. There were 3 different story campaigns to go through. And even in the final story for 06, like, he definitely took more of a backseat. In terms of like, he took more of a backseat in terms of, what's the plan to save Sonic? If that makes sense. He didn't say a lot in the last story of Sonic 06. Again, he was more towards the kind of back. In Sonic Heroes, in the last story, he took more of a backseat. So I would say I definitely prefer him when he wasn't being shoved in our faces. I think it's fine to have a year of Shadow, but like, let's have it be in the year. We don't need it being shoved in our faces anymore. So I guess that would be my unpopular opinion with Shadow. I feel like he was a much more interesting character when he was more in the back row, or like more in the back seat of the cast. Like he took more. They knew back when Sega kind of knew when to have him shut up, like be seen and not heard, kind of deal. I guess in a similar way to Big, Though no, not to the degree of Big. Big was definitely made to be a background character. Shadow wasn't. I mean, granted, originally Shadow was supposed to stay dead. So that's another unpopular opinion about Shadow. I kind of wish Sega kept him dead for a bit longer. I wish that he didn't come back to life literally the next game. I do wish that they had like 1, maybe 2 games where he wasn't there. To really hit home that like he was dead. And then that way when he returns, it would have been a much more bigger impact. For once, Nicole not hating on Shadow. I never hated Shadow. I don't know where this I just shit on him a lot, right? Because he's so overrated. He's the favorite child. And I more so shit on... Is that a thunderstorm? Sorry, I can't tell if that's thunder. Yeah, I'm also shit on the favoritism he gets. And than him as a character. I've never hated Shadow as a character. I've always really liked Shadow as a character. I just think he gets favored a bit too much. And I just find him much more interesting when he was a bit more mysterious, when he was a bit more... Again, knew when to shut up. Like, knew when to be quiet. Knew when to not be an egotistical bastard. You know? Yeah. So it's never a case where it's like, I dislike Shadow. I shit on him because he's just always there. And it's predictable. And it's getting a bit old. Especially when there's characters like Tails, Knuckles, Amy. This is another one. I've got another one with Shadow. Like one more, I promise, with Shadow. He should not have been put in the movie universe before Amy. I don't know how unpopular that is, but he should not have been in the movies before Amy. Amy should have been before him. He should have been Sonic Movie 4 instead of Sonic Movie 3. Like the appearance order of appearances should have been switched with Shadow and Amy. He should not have taken priority. He should just not take priority over any of the core cast, which is Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Eggman. Like, he should be the 6th most important Sonic character, not the 5th. You know what I mean? Like, he should not take precedence over the core cast. And I don't really like that he's becoming a core cast member. Because he was never meant to be that. He was never meant to be that. You know? So, yeah. So, a few unpopular opinions with Shadow. Basically, in summary, I liked him more when he wasn't Sega's favorite. I kind of feel like Sega favoring him and featuring him so much has kind of ruined the character a little bit for me. Not massively, but just a little bit. Alright. Baby! Alright. I actually have to ponder this. The voice of the train announcer in SA1 is Rouge. I mean, that's not an unpopular opinion. That's just factual. Oh, also, there we go. Okay. I think I've got one. Again, not massively sure how unpopular this is. Rouge's personality in the games, I should specify the games, has always been consistent. And I think people saying that they've censored her personality is just incorrect. They've censored her appearance? Absolutely. Her personality has always been consistent. Like, I've seen people react to the Crossworlds interactions between the characters. And a lot of people have been like, oh my god, Rouge is like cooking them. Why is Rouge like written so well? She has always been like that, bro. She's always been a rage baiter. She's always been independent. She's always been out for herself. She's always shit-talked people. That's always been Rouge. It's just her appearance that has been censored. But personality-wise, she's been solid throughout the games. She's been pretty consistent. Outside of the games, I can agree. Like, Archie... Oh my god, I did not like how Archie wrote Rouge originally. Like, before the Genesis wave. She was such an asshole. I did not like her. Like, no. They made her like a villain, and I wasn't a fan of that. But other than that, again, in the games, she's been consistent. She's been flirtatious. She's been a rage baiter. She steals jewels. She likes to be a bit more independent. You know, that's been consistent. And so when people say that Sega have censored both her personality and her appearance, it's just not true in my opinion. Like, her appearance, yes, and that's dumb. Her personality is the same. It's literally the same. It's not changed, in my opinion. It's pretty much the same. She's been pretty consistent. Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest one. Oh no, you know what? Another one. One more. For Rouge. And I'm actually going to make a long form video about this. Rouge is probably... I'm gonna get so... Oh god, I actually might get hate for this one. Fuck it, we ball. Rouge is probably the strongest female Sonic character. Both physically, but also personality-wise. Let me explain. That isn't to say before anyone goddamn says, oh, so you think Amy and Blaze aren't strong personalities? That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. They are very strong personalities. I really love Amy and Blaze. Let's not get that twisted. Because one of the main reasons I love Rouge so much and why she is my favorite, other than Sonic of course, she has a very strong personality in the sense that she knows what she wants. She's very confident. She is literally like strong, independent woman. Like, unironically. And that, like, again, she's really intelligent. She can hack computers. She can get intel real quick. She can locate hidden things. She can outsmart people. Even if she's barely interacted with them, she knows kind of how to get what she wants through her words. Yes, she's very physically strong, absolutely, and I don't think people talk about that nearly as much. She is very physically strong, but also she's just a really strong character personality-wise. She literally knows how to handle situations both physically and mentally. Like, she plays mental gymnastics with people. So when I say she's the strongest Sonic female character, that's what I mean. I mean not just physically, but like personality-wise. She's so goddamn interesting. I hit my hand and I need to stop doing that. And so that's honestly why she's my favorite. Like, that's why I love her so much as a character. That's why she always inspired me. She's a great character for that. And so I will stand firm. I will fight people in the sense of, like, she is the strongest female Sonic character. Jack of all trades, literally. And again, that is not to say that Blaze and Amy are not strong characters, personality-wise. They absolutely are. It's just, in my opinion, if I had to say who's the strongest in terms of, like, both physical and personality-wise, it's Rouge. It's Rouge. Every day of the goddamn week. Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that I'm not getting more people who be like, what? You're wrong, in chat. I'm such a I was kind of, when I thought it, I was thinking, ooh, I don't know about that. That's just me. Again, people are completely open to, like, agreeing, or like disagreeing, rather. I may disagree with physical strength, but yeah, personality. Physical strength goes to Amy. Hey, listen, to kind of back up Rouge a little bit in terms of physical stuff, just keep in mind that she uses her legs to break down steel doors. Just saying. Anyway. Ooh, Maria. Okay. Unpopular opinion about Maria. Okay. I think... I don't know if this is unpopular, though. In a similar... I'll say it anyway. In a similar vein to Gamma, she should not appear in games again. I think Shadow Generations was a perfect ending for her. I don't think we need to see her again. Mentioned? Perfectly fine. She absolutely should be mentioned. Absolutely. Especially by Shadow. But her dodging skills suck is crazy, Shard. That's insane to say. But right, you're not wrong. But yeah, she shouldn't make an appearance in games again. Let her... Not to sound insensitive, but let her die. Let her die. She's done. She got... Her and Shadow kind of had closure. I don't... As much as I love the new voice they got for her. Fantastic VA, by the way. Stephanie... Oh god, what's her name? I forgot her name, Stephanie something. But anyway, she's fantastic as Maria. She does not need to make another appearance. Like, physically. If it's flashbacks, maybe. Maybe. But in terms of like, oh, somehow the magic has briefly brought her back, doesn't need to appear. No. No. Shadow Generations, it made sense. It made sense why she was there. She does not need to be there again. That's it. Like, she's done. Her story's done. Just let Maria meet Nicole, goddamn. Yeah. So I think, as much as I really like Maria as a character and how integral she is to Shadow's story, Stephanie Cher? Is that how you pronounce it? But yeah, great voice. Yeah, as integral as she is to Shadow's story, she's done. She's done. Like, we don't need to see her again. Alright. Oh god. Ooh. Gerald. Unpopular opinions about Gerald. Again, don't know how unpopular this is. I don't like the fact that he's voiced by Mike Pollock. I get why. I get that they're trying to show that, like, how Eggman is, like, very inspired by Gerald and everything like that. But, like, we already got that impression just based on physical appearance, like with the mustache and nose and everything. I don't think he needed to be voiced by Mike Pollock as well. It's a nitpick, I guess, but it's the main one I can think of, other than, like, similar to Maria. He, you know, don't appear again. But in fairness, Gerald's less likely to appear again than Maria is. Yeah, I think he should have... I definitely think he should have, been voiced by someone else. And not Mike Pollock. Yeah, it's very simple, unpopular opinion, but, you know. I don't know, I just think it would have differentiated them a bit. Let's see, look at chat. People forgave Gerald too quickly. That too. They kind of did forgive him a bit too easily. Did they forgive him? Was he forgiven? I don't think he was necessarily forgiven. If you mean the fandom forgave him, then sure, I can see that. Gerald Robotnik looks like the one guy that polished Woody in Toy Story 2. Oh god. The stream got recommended to me randomly. That VTuber model is cool. Thank you, welcome in. A bit in the final story in Shadow the Hedgehog. Really? Oh yeah, I mean, I've not played Shadow the Hedgehog. So yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, that's a bit, I don't think he should be forgiven. Like, he tried to murder the entire planet. You know? Yes, did he get screwed over? Absolutely, but he you know, he tried to kill everyone. Just saying. Anyway. Cream. Let's see. Unpopular opinion. Oh, what's an unpopular opinion for Cream? Cream is overrated and loved? What do you mean by loved? Oh, wait, do you mean LARPed as in, like, people kind of act, it's, like, performative that they're big fans of her? Or something? Is that what you mean? Cream should have a gun. Cream's voice actor, people talk about her. I think my unpopular opinion would be in a similar, kind of similar vein to Big. I love Cream, right? She's a great character. I don't know what major purposes she would serve by being more prominent in the games. I know people want her to be in more games, but I kind of, whenever people say that, I kind of am questioning, like, but what would she do though? You know, like, and that's not necessarily because of her age or anything. It's more so because, like, she doesn't really, outside of, like, Sonic and Amy and sometimes the Chaotix, she doesn't really interact with many people. Like, she doesn't really interact with Tails. She barely, I don't recall her ever really interacting with Knuckles majorly. I definitely think she's an example of like a party or like side, like side game character. I suppose like if they were going to include her in more main titles, they could take reference from like Sonic X. But even in Sonic X, she was definitely more there for like cute factor and more as like a gal pal for Amy. So I guess it would be more like if she was brought more into the main games, I don't know if she would serve much of a purpose. If that makes sense. And I think she is better off as being more of like a little bit of a background character. Or like, maybe not to the degree of Big. Because I enjoy scenes of her. And it's nice that, I mean, she's the only one with a mother in the series. But like, oh, Blaze too, you're so right. Oh my god, I actually forgot about it. But even then, like, they barely talk to each other now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess also in a similar vein to Decole and Chaos, I wouldn't hate for her to be more in the forefront of the games again. I just don't, I would kind of question why, and I think they would have to be careful with how they did it. Because otherwise it could potentially look like they're doing it just for the sake of doing it. I think that's, yeah. If that, I don't know if that makes any sense. Cream knows how to hide a body. Again, Shah, that's not an unpopular opinion. That was a common theme and joke in the like mid 2000s in Sonic fandom internet. Sonic fandom internet? That doesn't make sense. Sonic fandom, I should have just said. But yeah, I think that's my unpopular opinion about Cream. As much as I love her. Oh, interesting. Again, I don't know if this is I do have one for vanilla. I don't know if this is unpopular though. I'll say it. I guess again, I don't know if many people find this unpopular. Vanilla doesn't really have much of a personality. I mean, she does, but she kind of doesn't. She's a mother. Yeah, literally, she's a mother. What does she even do? Right? Her main purpose for being in the series is that she's obviously there to be Vector's crush, which I love. I love that. It's very cute. But also Cream's mother. And she's very polite and she's very motherly. That's kind of it. And I know people say like, oh, we want her in the games. What would she do? If it's like a hub world situation, she's like an NPC that you talk to in a similar vein of like Unleashed, fine, fair enough. But like, what would she do? I know people are begging for her to appear. What would she do? Physically, like what would she do? You know what I mean? And I kind of wish they gave her a little bit more of a personality, but at the same time, I don't know if there is really much they can do with her. Popular opinion, why is everyone sexualized redhead mothers? I don't know, I mean, I would say like she's sexualized, but at the same time, I think I would rather Vanilla is sexualized in the fandom more than Cream, because Cream is, unfortunately, there's like a really dark side of the fandom that chooses to sexualize Cream over Vanilla, which is fucking disgusting. But you know, that's not unpopular. That's a pretty, well, I would hope that's a popular opinion, that it's gross to sexualize her daughter. Like, I would see, anyway. She can mediate, she's a planner, she gave orders to General and Child to support the chaos. That's true! That is fair enough. That is fair enough. I think they utilized her in a very good way. This is why I really love the Chaos Case Files audio drama, and why I hope they do more audio dramas like that. Because that's a great way to utilize characters like Vanilla, Cream, even Decole and Chaos and Big and everything, like characters who normally wouldn't serve much of a purpose in the games. And like give them their own kind of stories. Or like include them in other character stories. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll go with Vanilla. Omega. Ooh. I'm trying to think. I thought I had one. I thought I had one for Omega. I'm trying to think. I thought I had one for Omega. I'm actually drawing Omega right now. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't know. I actually really don't know with Omega. I'm trying to think of like, again, like a opinion that's like unpopular. Unpopular opinions. Let's look at chat. Give me your unpopular opinions about Omega, because I'm actually really struggling with him. Opinion on Omega is that he needs to go on a quest to learn what happened to the other E-series robots like Gamma and Beta. Oh, that'd be interesting. I like the Gamma's fun. Gamma, wow. Omega's fun personality in the Shadow Generation shorts. Simple, funny character, which is why he's popular. Going more complex would hurt more than help. He's not funny. I don't agree. That's probably it. He's the best power character by far. I think Omega's cool, but not the best character. Okay, I think I've got one. He's this is unpopular though. Probably not, but it's the best I can do. Or best I can come up with. He's definitely the weakest member. Not like physically or personality or anything like that. I mean weakest in terms of like interest, like level of interest with Team Dark. Like out of the 3 members of Team Dark, he is definitely the character that I find is the least interesting to me. And that's, again, not to say that I dislike Gamma. Omega. People stop talking about Gamma. People keep bringing up Gamma and it's throwing me off. Omega. I love Omega. He's a great character. He needs to be in Sonic Rumble Party, and I still don't know why he's not. I keep mentioning it to the devs. I am trying. I promise. Anyway, he is unfortunately the least interesting member of Team Dark. I don't know how unpopular that is. It probably isn't that unpopular. I physically can't think of any other like unpopular opinion with Omega. Let Omega and Metal interact, just have a failed attempt to rebel. Oh, yeah, that's a point. Why haven't Metal Sonic and Omega interacted? That's a good point. Omega, while cool, really is just that. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the best way I can sum it up. Like, he's really cool, but he's just kind of there sometimes. They definitely tried to give him like a story in Heroes, which was great and interesting, but they kind of don't do much with it now, which sucks. But it's what it is. Vector. Oh, I think I've said this before. I mean, I'll say it again, because I don't see people mention it a lot. He is honestly probably the best written Sonic character. Purely because he is consistent throughout all the years. He has been the most consistent Sonic character. Hence why he is the best written Sonic character in my opinion. He has never in my opinion, had a game or even like a non-game appearance where he's out of character, he is funny, he's interesting, he is a compelling character. You give a shit about him, which is rare for like background characters with Sonic. He's honestly one of the best Sonic characters, and he's honestly probably the best written one, just because of how consistent across the board he's been. Like, I know I mentioned earlier that Rouge has obviously, like, always kind of been written consistently as well. However, if you remember, I mentioned that she was written consistently throughout the games. Outside of the games, it's a little inconsistent with Rouge. Like the Archie comics. It was very inconsistent with Rouge. Vector, however, from my recollection, has always been very consistent, even in the Archie comics. Has always been consistent. In the games and outside of the games. Best written, because he's been the most consistent. I'm very, very happy that Sega, even if they don't do anything else with the Chaotix, I would like to think they will, but I was so happy that he had a lot of spotlight in the Chaotix case files. Like, he's a great character. Fantastic character, and honestly, like I said, best written. I'll say it. I wouldn't mind if Sega did more of his DJ stuff. I agree. Heavily agree. Hi Bus, I'm here, been looking for a bit and enjoying the comfy stream. Welcome, hello. Welcome in. I can't promise it'll always be comfy. But, you know, for today it will. Today, for the most part, it is, which I'm surprised at. Silly Crocodile Man, he was a detective and kind of greedy, but not in a mean way, in mean, flawed ways, pretty hard to screw up. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But yeah, okay. I don't know how unpopular that is. Well, no, it's definitely unpopular to say that, like, he's the best written Sonic character, like, out of all the cast. I think that's pretty unpopular. I don't really see people mention, like, Vector when people say that. Like, when you hear people say so-and-so is the best written Sonic character, you often hear, like, Shadow's up there, Blaze, Silver I've seen a few times.
Unpopular opinion, it was weird to see Vector just by himself without the rest of the Chaotix.
I mean, yeah. Because they're a package deal, for good reason. But even in Sonic Boom, when he was by himself in that one episode, he was consistent with his mainline self. You know, like, so yeah, great character. Charmy. Ooh, is this unpopular? Actually, let me have a drink of water first, because my throat's getting a little bit dry. Ugh. Okay. I guess one unpopular opinion with Charmy that I've always had is I've never found him annoying. I've never found him annoying. Like, because I know that back in the day, especially, a big theme was that, oh, Charmy's so fucking annoying. He's so annoying. You know, he's a pain in the ass. I never felt that with him. I don't know. I've never found him annoying. I thought it was fine. I think he's a kid. He's an ADHD kid, and I think that's great. I don't know. He's not my favorite, but I've never, like, despised him. B-Tech Tails is insane. Charmy's not that smart. I guess another unpopular opinion, though I don't know if this is really unpopular. Colleen, how do you pronounce her? I forget how you pronounce her last name. She voices Tails and Charmy. But Colleen should not have kept voicing Charmy when she took over the role of Tails. Because it's very obvious that with Charmy, she's really straining her voice so that Charmy and Tails don't sound the same. Because she pretty much gave Tails her old Charmy voice. And now it just makes Charmy sound really shrill and really like, oh no, like I don't...
That bit did more than what majority of the cast did, actually directly squared hands, or in this case, Stinger, with
true.
Eggman. In
true.
Sonic Heroes.
Yeah. And it's a shame because it definitely kind of ruins his character a little bit, because it's such a shrill voice. And Colleen's a fantastic VA. That's what I mean, and that's why it's like, I just don't think she should have kept voicing Charmy when she took over the role of Tails from Kate Higgins. And I definitely think she either could have voiced someone else in the cast alongside Tails, and someone else should have taken, like, Cindy Robertson I think would have done a great Charmy, is all I'm saying. Cindy Robertson's like known, some of her roles are like doing young boy voices. I think it would have been great. Yeah. But my main unpopular opinion with Charmy is that I've never found him annoying. Yeah, I never really found him that annoying. I think SBO should be next. You'd think. Yes. Okay. Again, I don't know how unpopular this is. SBO is far more interesting when he's like a dork and nerdy. Like, he can still be really cool and badass and everything like that, but he is so much more interesting when he has a bit of a dorky side to him. Infinitely more interesting. And like, I mean, again, Puffly showcase, I think, in Chaotix Case Files, I think he was written great. It helps differentiate him from like Shadow, because for a while is kind of becoming a little bit Shadow-esque, especially like in the kind of 2000s. So I like the direction they're taking him now. I think it makes him much more interesting. That he can be serious like Shadow, but he's a goddamn nerd. He's goofy. He's goofy, haha. You know, like, he's just he's more interesting that way. He's way more interesting that way when he's like action figures and like everything like that. He's a bit more like self-conscious of like, yeah, and like compares himself to Rouge. I just think that's really interesting too. SBO always locked in, but yeah, I like it when he's goofy goof than just a hardcore ninja. Yeah, SBO's like lightweight version of Shadow Light. That's what I mean. He really was becoming that. And I'm really glad they're leaning more into like he's goofy. There's a reason why he's part of the Chaotix. Like, yes, he's very good at what he does. Yes, he's like, out of all three of them, he locks in the most and it's the most serious. But he's still goofy. He's still funny, haha. And he's much more interesting that way. Yeah.
You know Vector, SBO, and Charmy are Team Chaotix, right?
Yeah. What do you mean? Of course I know that. The fuck? Nah, I'm a LARPer. I'm a LARPer. Guys, I never knew that. What do you mean? Of course I know that. Everyone knows that. I was thinking it. Oh goodness. Who do you think I am? Ooh. Okay, interesting. We got Duo. We got Emerald and General. A lot PD64. Or LARP 64. Okay. Let's start with Emerald. Unpopular. Ooh. Oh god. What would be an unpopular? Not voiced by Sai? Well, for now, we don't know. We've never heard Emerald speak, like, voice-wise. We don't know. It could happen. Oh, needs more love. I don't think that's unpopular, though. I think most people agree with that. I don't know if this is unpopular, but I'll say it anyway for Emerald. I actually kind of liked that he bonded the most with Cream in Sonic X. I liked that kind of friendship they developed. I know that I think in the Japanese original version, they were trying to imply there was like a romance, and obviously I don't ship them. But I liked the kind of connection and bond they shared with each other. And it definitely made his death very sad in Sonic X. Would I argue sadder than the original? I don't know, honestly. But it was definitely, I really liked that they hyper-focused on his bond with Cream. I felt it was really sweet, and I wish we got more fan art of like Emerald and Cream hanging out, like really wholesome imagery of them. Again, I don't ship them. I do not ship them. Not by any stretch of the means. But I really liked that, yeah, like an older brother, younger sister. Exactly. Exactly. Like that kind of thing. Though, I mean, they kind of definitely are doing that more with I get the sense that's what they're doing with Gemerald now. Is that they're kind of like transferring that bond that Cream had with Emerald and Sonic X to like Gemerald. So speaking of which, let's do Gemerald. Oh god. I'm trying to think with Gemerald. Gemerald's very much the babysitter. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. What's an unpopular opinion with them? Oh god, I actually don't know. Unpopular. God, why am I struggling with some of these? Oh my god, I thought this would be kind of easy. I think what's throwing me is the unpopular opinion part of it, right? Because it's very easy to say an opinion of a character, like, because it's probably an opinion that a lot of people have, but when you're trying to think of like a hot take for these characters, it's actually hard for some of them. Mainly because like some of the opinions I have about some of the characters aren't really hot takes in terms of the fandom or the general consensus of the fandom. Because I gotta consider that Gemerald was in the Chaotix case files. Gemerald sounds like in the background character cast. Honestly, it's a fate worse since Death and Battle when he was Emerald. Wait, Gemerald's Emerald? Are they the same? Wait. Because I didn't play the advanced games. Are they the same character? Shut the fuck up. They are not the same character. Are they actually... Guys, are they... Don't mess with me. Are they actually the same character? I'm getting mixed reports. I'm getting yes and a no. I didn't play the advanced games. I think Gemerald was made using Emerald's parts. Okay. Okay. I was about to goddamn say. I was about to lose my shit. It's complicated? Sure. Alright. I'll go with that. Oh god, I'm actually really struggling to think of like an unpopular opinion with Gemerald. Oh god. Play Advance free? I will at some point. It is tough. Again, I don't know if I have a hot take for Gemerald. I may have to skip him. I really don't know. Like, most of my opinions are pretty, like, in line with everyone else, which is, he's cool. You know, I like the fact that he's, like, a, you know, like we've been saying, he's a babysitter for like, Cream and, like, helps Vanilla out around the house and everything like that. That I think he should appear more. Just pack it up. Yeah, I think I'll move on. I physically can't think of anything for him. Wrap it up. Guys, you're starting to sound like the Game Awards. Anyway, Blaze. Okay. Blaze. Again, I need to think unpopular. Oh, good. Let's see. Unpopular opinion, she's the most loved female in Sonic aside from Rouge. That's unpopular? I see, whenever we talk about like female Sonic characters, Blaze always comes up. Rush Adventure didn't do her enough justice in the gameplay. I played Rush and completed it, but I never played Rush Adventure. I've been meaning to. She should stay in her dimension? I think I agree with that, actually. Is that a hot take? Because I would say that is an unpopular opinion. Because, like, it's unpopular because it would mean that Blaze wouldn't appear as much. But I like... With Silver, they explain how, for the most part, they've explained how he gets to and from the future. Blaze, it definitely makes a little less sense. Because she's from a different dimension. So how the fuck can she keep going back and forth? I don't know. I would love for there to be like more world building for her. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion though. And I think the only way to do more world building for her is for her to kind of like the characters to go to her dimension. Like more. I don't think that's unpopular though. No, I actually don't. Shouldn't have shoehorned her in 06. I think that's a popular opinion, isn't it? That yeah, for the most part. Like honestly, in 06 she didn't really do much. Like so hot take is keep her in her dimension, never have her show up again. No. Because I really like Blaze. But I agree she should stay in her dimension to give her more backstory. Oh god, I'm really trying to think. I do think... Okay, no, I do have one. I do think she's a little overrated. A little bit. I get why. I definitely get why. But she's just a teeny bit overrated. In a similar way that Shadow is. And that's just, I think, because naturally internet spaces and fandoms, they tend to gravitate towards like introverted characters more than extroverted characters. It's why characters like... It's why Frozen did so well back when it first came out, because Elsa was like this introverted, traumatized character with powers. And that's why people love Frozen so much and Let It Go, and Elsa's a character because she was that, you know, people gravitate towards that. It's why people love Shadow so much and still do. It's why people love Blaze so much and still do. So I get why people like her, but she's a teensy bit overrated. Just a teensy bit. I guess that would be my unpopular opinion about Blaze. Love her, but she's a little bit overrated. A little bit. Oh boy. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say his name out loud, bro. Unpopular opinion should be called Eggman Negative. Eggman Negative? Actually, no. I don't know if this is unpopular, but I don't care. I'm not gonna focus too much on him because he's honestly not that he's not massively interesting. Call him Eggman Negative. Already a much better name. It sounds cooler, first off. Eggman Negative. Why not just call him Negative? Like, why give him that name, bro? It's not an unpopular opinion, I know, I don't care, it's... I think let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yo, Negative Eggman. Just give him a different name, for God's sake. But also, we don't need him. He's probably, honestly, one of the most useless Sonic characters. We didn't need him. We really didn't. And he showed up way too often. Way too often. And I'm glad that we're kind of leaving him in the past. Not even just because of his name, but just because of, you know, who is he? Like, who cares? Alright. Marine. Sega need to use her more. I mean, that's not unpopular. That's not unpopular, though. That's not unpopular. Unpopular. Is it unpopular to say that I like the fact that she's like the Tails to Blaze's Sonic? Is that unpopular to say? That I like her as like Blaze's psychic? You know what? No, I'll put it this way. I like her interactions with Blaze more than I like Blaze's interactions with Cream. I think that's a better unpopular opinion. I think Marine and Blaze have a much more fun dynamic than Blaze and Cream. I love the whole concept of Marine being this whole like extroverted crazy kid with this older introverted kind of like guardian. Like, I think that's so much more interesting. So I'll say that Marine's a more interesting psychic and duo for Blaze than Cream is. And honestly, maybe even arguably more than Silver in some instances. Maybe. Silver! I mean, back in the day, my unpopular opinion would have been that he's a great character. Because back in the day, the fandom fucking hated him. Well, not everyone, but like 50, similar to Amy, 50% of the fandom didn't like him. Right, what's one for him now? Oh, I got one. I like that he's kind of more, goofy, and kind of more like soft boy. That sounds weird to say. Probably not soft boy. What's a better term? He's a bit more. He's got this like childlike wonder to him, in comparison to like the previous games. I like when he's serious. I get why people miss that. I 100% get why they miss that. However, I like that he has like kind of two modes to him. He has like his really serious mode, but he has this like really innocent, goofy, again, almost like a childlike version of himself. Innocent, there we go, innocent and pure version. Because his hardened, more serious self would be almost like a trauma response to living in such a fucked up future. And then when he's in the present, I like the idea of him softening up a bit. Because not only is he in a world where the skies are blue and the world hasn't gone shit and he's not having to survive and fight for his life, but he's also around people. He's got friends. He's got a group of friends. He has people to support him. He's not having to deal with it mainly on his own. So I honestly, because I've seen people say, oh, I don't like that they made him more kind of silly and goofy and like everything like that. I like that he has moments like that. I think it makes him more compelling of a character. Another unpopular opinion that I've mentioned a few times is that I like that his moveset is slow. I think it differentiates him more from like Sonic and Shadow. Yes, I know he's got the powers, but I like that he's more puzzle oriented and slower. I think if they made him as fast as Sonic and Shadow, it would I don't know, I don't think it would suit him. I kind of like that he's a bit slower, and it also would fit in narratively that he wants to kind of enjoy himself whilst in the past. He wants to take things a bit slower and kind of like enjoy the time he has there before he has to go back to the future. So that's a few unpopular takes about Silver. Mephiles the Dark. I feel like he's a great rival. Actually, no. Antagonist for Shadow. And I definitely think he shines the most when he is an antagonist for Shadow. Yeah, it was kind of cool seeing him be like, oh, Silver, go kill Sonic. But his best moments were literally the scenes with Shadow. Like, not even a question. I don't know how unpopular that is, but like, yeah. And I also, as much as I love Mephiles, as much as I freaked out, as you guys probably heard who watched me play Shadow Generations, I've loved the fact that he came back. I don't think he should. I think if they were going to bring him back, I think Shadow Generations was the best way to do it. Do not get me wrong. If they brought him back somehow and they found a story reason for him to come back, I would lose my shit, and I would love it. I would be freaking out. I'd be hyped about it. I just don't know if they should. In a similar way to other characters, I think some characters are probably best left alone. But nah, I think my main unpopular opinion would be that, don't know how unpopular this is, that he is a great antagonist for Shadow. More than he is an antagonist for Sonic and Silver.
My Mephiles hot take, he's the ultimate media literacy test in 06 lol.
Yeah, he's not Sonic and Silver's antagonist, he is Shadow's. Like, even down to his appearance, it's like, yeah, he is Shadow's villain. Ooh, would I say more than Black Doom? Probably not more than Black Doom. But I think when I think of Mephiles as a villain, I don't consider him like a villain
hot take,
for Sonic.
I feel like every new hedgehog in 06, including Mephiles, is just a reskin of Shadow, with the inhibitor rings and chest fur, but Mephiles was literally meant to be a reskin of Shadow.
I was gonna say, like, that's, yeah. Alright. I don't know how much longer we'll go on, by the way, because I wasn't expecting to actually how many more. I think there's like a bunch of characters. Is it just the game characters? Oh god, we got like comic characters too? Oh shit. Oh, there's so many. Oh no. Let's see if we can like, I'll probably have to like quickly go through some of these. Because I would like to get through them, but we'll see. So we're on Orban keyboard. They serve their purpose, but like I'm getting a little bit sick of them. I'll be honest. I like them, but like, they're not my. Is that just me? I'm getting a bit sick of them. Of their gimmick. I feel like maybe it's time to retire them. A little bit. Like maybe it's time to put them way more in the back and then eventually just kind of get rid of them. Yeah, like Sage is a good replacement. I think their time's done. They're definitely a reflection of like the 2010s and everything and that kind of comedy. That's not to say that I hate them or that if they stick around I'll be like, oh, what the fuck. I'm just saying, yeah, they're outdated and I'm getting a little bit sick of them. Chip, he is so overhated, bro. So overhated. I've always loved him in a similar way to Silver. Like I've always loved him. He's such a fun character. I wish the series would talk about him more. I wish Sonic would talk about him more. It makes me sad that they fucking don't. People are too hard on Chip. He's not. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Get behind me, Chip. I'm gonna. You know what? At some point, I gotta make a donation goal for like a Chip plushie. So. Yeah, that's probably unpopular opinion. I know more people.
You think Stark Gaia is gonna do something?
Shut up. Shut up. I just wish Sonic would mention him more. I don't get why he doesn't. Like, I really wish Sonic would mention him more because they were literally I don't know. People need to leave Chip alone. Alright? People call him annoying. Nah. Leave him alone. He's just a little feisty. Oh, here we go. This is a big one. Deadly Six. Alright, this may trigger some people. I actually like the Deadly Six. I think they're good Sonic villains. I've never had an issue with their designs. I thought they were interesting. I kind of wish we got a bit more backstory on them, to be honest. I'm not entirely too upset whenever I see Zaz and Zavok. If anything, I just kind of wish the other Deadly Six joined them. I'm kind of wish it wasn't just Zavok and Zaz. I wish that the other four joined them. I wish they actually show up more. I wish that Zomon, Xena, Master Zik, and Zor would show up more. I actually don't mind them. I think they're decent villains. I think it's an interesting concept. I think the whole, like, they can control robots thing is really interesting. I think people are a little bit too harsh on them. I can understand, though, the whole thing with the designs, like, looking like Mario villains. But I'm not too mad when I see them. I don't mind them. I think they're fine. I think they're perfectly fine. I think people need to chill out a bit. Infinite has always been a really great villain. This was what I was going to say. I was thinking of Infinite when I was going to say about Mephiles. He should be Shadow's rival. Infinite should be Shadow's rival. I never understood when Sega were trying to be like, oh, he's the enemy of Sonic. Bro, no. Why was he so gung-ho about Sonic? He should have been going after Shadow. Like, sure, it could be argued that, like, he was trying to frame Shadow for stuff, like, with his, clone or copy or illusion or whatever the fuck. But, like, I want him to be the rival of Shadow. I don't want him to be another Sonic antagonist. I want him to be Shadow's antagonist. If you're gonna bring Shadow more to the forefront, have Infinite be his, like, Eggman. Or his antagonist. Or God, even his jets. You know, like, I just really feel like, and I always envision him as being, like, Shadow's rival. I think that would be so interesting. Are we back? Are we good? Is the internet back? I think it's storming over it. Are we good? We're back? Okay. But yeah, he's so much more interesting as Shadow's rival. Is all I'm gonna say. He's not... I don't think he should be Sonic's villain.
Am I cooking? Metal is Sonic's rival. Infinite is Shadow's rival and Mephiles was Blaze's rival.
Mephiles was more Silver... Well, actually, no. Mephiles was definitely more Shadow's rival. Mephiles... I mean, if you're gonna... He was definitely more... He definitely wasn't Blaze's rival. But... I get what you mean. The other two, I definitely agree. Yeah, I think Infinite is... He should be Shadow's enemy, not Sonic's. I don't think he should be like another villain for Sonic to fight. I think he should be Shadow's. Absolutely. Alright. Oh god, Dodonpa. I don't mind him. He's there. I think he serves his purpose. I think as long as he stays in his lane, kind of pun intended, he's fine. I think he has way too complicated of a design for the kind of character he is. I don't know if they needed to make him a king, but sure. He's just kind of there. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't think about him much. I don't think about Dodonpa much. So, there's not really much of an unpopular opinion, to be honest. Sage. Ooh. I think... she's definitely more interesting when she's evil. I don't know if I liked the concept of them trying to make her a bit more like, Father, let's do good, that they kind of tried to do at the end of Frontiers. She's way more interesting when she's evil like Eggman. Like, let her be Eggman's evil daughter. Don't make her a good, like, an anti-hero or anything. Just make her a villain. It's so much more interesting. Like, she can be, like, look at the first image. She's like, intimidating. Like, make her a villain. I guess if you want to make her an anti-villain, anti-hero, sure, but, like, have her be more on the villain side. I don't want it to be a case where she's kind of making Eggman soft. I want her to kind of be as bad as him. Like, I want to have them to have a father-daughter villain team, almost. It's more interesting that way. Jet the Hawk. Right. This may annoy people. I love Jason Griffith. Fantastic Sonic, fantastic Shadow. I think the current Jet, I forget who voices Jet now, or has voiced Jet since Free Riders. The current Jet voice is better than Jason's. I'm just gonna say it. Listen, I think the current Jet voice fits Jet more for the kind of character he is. He's kind of meant to be a loser, and he's more interesting that way. I know that originally they kind of wanted him to be a bit, like, have a bit more aura to him, and sure, but, like, it's kind of hard for him to be like, I'm the fastest creature when, like, physically he's probably not. Like, he uses a board. All it would take for Sonic to prove a point would be like, hey, get off the board, let's have a foot race. You know? Michael, Yuchak? I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I prefer him as Jet than Jason. And it kills me to say that because Jason Griffith is a great VA, right? And I like Jason Griffith as Jet, but I just think in comparison, Michael's Jet voice fits more. It just fits more in my opinion. Yeah. Ooh, Wave. The only one I can think of is that I feel like it's more interesting.
Jet is legendary Wind Rider and leader of Babylon Rouge, is it? I remember.
Yeah, I know that. Richard, you don't need to tell me the lore stuff. I do know lore stuff, don't worry. I'm not a LARPer. Right, with Wave, she's definitely more interesting. Oh fuck, I was my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh god, my model went crazy. I know I was gonna say that like her and Jet are definitely more like sibling coded than romantic shipping wise. I don't know if that's really, I don't know if that's really unpopular. I don't know, like I kind of wish they would highlight her intelligence a bit more, because she is very smart, and I don't think people talk about that enough, and it's kind of a shame. I don't think Sega talk about it enough, and that's kind of a shame. They're getting there with Cross Worlds. But yeah, there's not really much to say with Wave. Because again, in a similar way to some other characters, I'm kind of in the same boat as a lot of people. Oh god. Ah! Storm. Storm. I like the direction. I like him having a bit more of an accent. Same with Jet. That's probably why I like Jet. Michael, Yorchak's Jet voice more than Jason's, and why I really enjoy. I think is it Patrick Seitz that voices Storm now? I forget. But Jet and Storm have accents, like kind of Boston accents. Not massively, but it's kind of there. And I think that honestly makes them more interesting. Like, we need more accents in Sonic, like for Sonic characters. I know they've kind of tried it as well, like a little bit of that kind of Boston accent with Vector, but not as much. Oh, Fred Tatascoa? I don't know if I pronounced that right. But yeah, like, I like that they gave him an accent, like a kind of a Boston accent. I like that he's always been... I like the dynamic he has with Jet. It's definitely... I find his dynamic with Jet more interesting than Wave and Jet's dynamics with each other. I like that it's this big guy who is like super goddamn loyal. Probably the most loyal character in the series to Jet. Who's like Jet being like not only younger than him, but like significantly smaller than him. I think it's great. I love that he's just a typical like goon. In the sense that he's like, alright boss, who do you want me to take out? I don't know, I think that's really cool. Alright. Oh, Mighty and Ray. Ooh, unpopular. Oh god, let's see. I really like Mighty and Ray. Similar to most of the fandom, they're a little bit glazed by the fandom though. They're a little bit overrated considering that they've not appeared much. And a lot of their appearance, they've appeared the most in the Archie comics. Where Sega kind of let Archie and the writers do a lot of weird shit. So we don't even know if they brought them into the modern games, if they would even have the same personalities as they did in the Archie comics. They might not. So they're a little bit glazed. The fandom really hypes them up. I think a little bit too much. Considering that in the games at least, they've not really appeared a lot. Should Mighty and Race 8 in the classic Sonic universe be modernized? I wouldn't be against them being in the modern series. I just worry, and I say this with everything, I just worry about the overcrowding situation in the cast. Because we already have an issue with characters being overlooked and like not utilized enough. And I worry that if we add more characters to that cast, this is the concern I had with Tangle and Whisper, and we'll get to them in a bit.
I'ma get off and do SMTH chat. It's been fun stream. See you next time, Nicole and chat.
Thank you for joining. So I wouldn't be against them being in the modern series. I'd just be worried about like other characters getting pushed to the sidelines for them. Oh, also, I guess for Mighty specifically, I'm of the popular headcanon, so not really unpopular, but I don't know how many people would agree, that if he wants to be in the modern games, he should have a Texan accent. He should be a cowboy-sounding son of a bitch. Give him a southern Texan accent. I think it'll be fun, and I think it would fit. I can't explain why. I saw people talk about it on Twitter years ago, and I don't know what possessed me to be like, you know what, I see it. I just kind of see it. Maybe it's because he's an armadillo. I don't know. I think it would make it more interesting. Black Doom. Oh god. Black Doom. I don't know if Black Doom should return. I think, in a similar way to Maria, he's kind of served his purpose now. His main thing was literally Shadow the Hedgehog, and then Shadow Generations, which, again, we kind of already got closure on that. I don't think he needs to be brought back. Very good villain. Do not get me wrong, Shadow's best villain. He got into Shadow's head more than like Mephiles did, and Mephiles got into his head quite a bit, right? Black Doom is Shadow's villain. He's the best Shadow villain, right? And he'll always have that. And I really love the like connection that like basically that is like his dad, kinda. I love that. It's great. I just don't think we should bring him back. I just think he served his purpose. I don't think. Like I said, let Infinite be Shadow's new villain, please. Let Infinite, if you're gonna bring Shadow more to the forefront and give him his own spin-off game, like more spin-off games, have Infinite be Shadow's villain. They're not gonna do it, but I just think it'll make it more interesting. But Black Doom, great villain, but I would not want him back. I think he served his purpose. Tangle. I don't think, you know, I'll put in Tangle and Whisper together. I'll kind of like group them with each other, because my unpopular opinions basically involve them both rather than separately. I don't know if these guys should be in the mainline games. I honestly think they should be side project characters, so like, you know, how they appear in the audio dramas, in Rumble, in Crossworlds, like stuff like that. I just don't know if they should be in mainline games. Not that I dislike them. I fucking love Tangle, by the way. Like, I've really grown to like, since she got given a voice, love Tangle. She's fantastic. And I really like Whisper. I just don't know. It's more to do with the overcrowding situation of the main cast. That's the reason. If we had like not as many characters, or each characters were getting equal amounts of attention, I wouldn't mind them.
Oh yes, the lesbians.
God damn it. I wouldn't mind them being in the main games. But I don't know if there's gonna be room. And it sucks because I really like them, but like I think they're probably better off in like the comics, audio dramas, and like smaller games.
Hot take: the fact that they ship together is a majority of why people care about them, which sucks because they are good characters.
Ooh, I can see what you mean. I can see what you mean. So I will say, regarding Whisper, I actually like that she has a high-pitched voice. I know a lot of people were very mixed on it. I love the fact that I love her voice. I think it's great. It matches. Not only does it match her backstory, because she was more giggly and like kind of bubbly before she was traumatized. But also, if they gave her like a deeper voice, it would have been too similar to Blaze, I feel. So I really like that they kind of went against expectations and gave her a higher pitched voice. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. Jewel. I don't know how unpopular this is though. It's not really an unpopular opinion, but fuck it. We're kind of speed running some of these now. Let me see that. Okay. Considering that she's supposed to be like Tangle's childhood friend, they don't really utilize that enough. And it I don't know if they should have made her Tangle's childhood friend or like best friend or anything. Because it doesn't feel like it. I feel like make her a friend of Tangle's, that's fine. I just don't know if they should have been like, oh, we went on adventures together. Because it doesn't seem to fit and they don't really seem to be going along with that. You know? Also, British. Like hardcore British. Please, if she ever gets a voice. Starline. I fucking love Starline, bro. He is such an interesting villain. I actually would... Ugh. I'm about to say something that might sound like I'm contradicting myself. I would love for him to be in the main games. Or main game. Just one. Purely because I could see him being like a one-time villain in the game. Like, I'm a firm believer as well. I don't know how popular this theory is.
Harry the Platypus.
God fucking damn it. I don't know how popular this is of a theory. But do you guys remember in the Chaotic case files how Infinite said he had like a benefactor? I'm like a firm believer that Starline is his benefactor. Like I don't know if that's like a popular theory or not, but if it is, I'm one of those people that believes that. And I would love for him, like Starline, to appear in a game, not multiple, but just one. As like a villain. I think that'd be great. Even if it's like a duo villain with Infinite, I think that'd be really good. We need more Mobian villains. I think Starline's great. British as fuck. He's 100% British, which I love. And I really think he's underrated. People don't talk about him enough. Sega don't even talk about him enough. He's such an interesting character. And like, oh my god, I wish people would glaze him more. Like, please, I want to see Starline in Sonic Rumble and stuff. Honestly, my favorite IDW, like original IDW character. Tangle is very close second though. Very, very close second. Mimic. Probably the darkest Sonic character. Honestly. Probably the darkest, like, most intense Sonic character that we've ever had. Like, bro has a knife. As a main weapon. He's like really, which is interesting. I like that. I like that it would kind of go in that dark path with him. He's very intense. And it's probably like the most fucked up villain that we've had, which is great. I can't remember did he die in the comics? I can't remember. Or is he like arrested? Like, what happened to him in the or is he still out there? I can't remember. Is he like still... What happened when we last saw him? Plus we don't have any sea creatures like him. Exactly, we need more creatures like that. He exploded? Okay, yeah, so he's dead. He's dead. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I'd want him to come back. He was killed, but it felt weird. Well, wasn't that the case with like Starline, that they quote unquote killed him off, but it's heavily implied that he's coming back or something, or like they kind of left it open. I would definitely prefer Starline to come back more than Mimic. I'll be honest. I think Mimic's time might be done. But I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back. Unlike Starline though, I don't know if I'd want Mimic in the games or a game. I think Starline would be a bit more interesting in my opinion as a villain. I think everything they could have done that made. I feel like there's more they could do with Starline in a game than they can do with Mimic. I think Mimic would be pretty damn censored for a video game.
He stabbed his core cause he knew he was gonna be done for, so it was a last resort to take Whisper down with him. Again,
the most fucked up villain, and I love it. But I think they would censor the fuck out of him if they brought him into the game world. Even if it's just for one game. I think he would not be nearly as dark or as intense as he is in the comics. So I think they would nerf the fuck out of him. Yeah, I kind of feel like his story for the most part wrapped up with like Whisper and everything. I feel like with Starline there's more they can do with him. I feel like Starline has more to give as a villain in a game. Especially as like, again, if my theory is correct about him being Infinite's benefactor. I think we're nearly done. Oh my god, there's so much more! Rough and, I don't really have an unpopular opinion about Rough and Tumble. Unpopular opinion about them. I really don't have an unpopular opinion about them. I kind of like the idea of them being rivals to Rouge, but at the same time, I also like the Babylon Rogues being rivals for Rouge. But I like the short story with them and Rouge. I thought that was interesting. So maybe they could be like, I don't know, maybe rivals for Rouge. I think that could be interesting. Oh boy. Ladolin. I do think she's kinda glazed a bit too much. Not that I dislike her. I think a lot of the hatred she got is kinda misogynistic. I will say it's kinda misogynistic because she's not much different from characters like Shadow. However, I do see where some of the criticisms lie. I'm very
sure do wish Scar was here.
I'm very neutral with Ladolin. She's not my favorite, but I don't dislike her. I actually kind of like that she's a character that isn't really a massive fan of Sonic. She kind of finds him a bit of a dick. So I enjoy that concept of like not everyone glazing Sonic, like not every kind of quote unquote civilian glazing Sonic as like this hero. Like she finds him to be irresponsible. So I do like that. However, it is also kind of like, yeah, but he can back it up. He can kind of, you know, his actions kind of back him up a bit though. You know, I'm very neutral with her. I definitely think a lot of her hatred was kind of a little bit misogynistic, like I said, because Shadow's no. There's been moments where like Shadow's not done it, like, or said things that have been much different from her, and that's okay. But when she says or acts a certain way, oh, what, she's a bitch, you know. But I do also kind of get it. I get why some people don't like her, but I don't know. She's definitely the character where I'm like, I don't know about her. I don't think she should appear in any more games like Crossworlds or anything. I don't think she's... Do I dare say I don't think she's as interesting as Tangle and Whisper? I don't think, in my opinion, she's not as interesting as Tangle and Whisper. I'll say it. I like how she doesn't agree with Sonic a lot. Exactly, that's what I mean. That's why I'm really neutral. Like, I'm so mixed on her. On one part, again, I really like the fact that she's more of a grumpy, kind of constantly tired, very blatantly traumatized, like, character. But, like, and again, that dislikes Sonic or finds him irresponsible. But like, I feel like people glaze her a bit. I feel like she's not as like Tangle and Whisper are very interesting characters, and I don't think she's as interesting as them. So yeah, I don't know. It's very, I'm very mixed on her. TBH. I don't know. I got my app stopped working. My app's still working. There we go. What is it? Ooh. Alright. But yeah, Lanolin I'm very mixed on. Very, very mixed on. Belle. I don't know if she was necessary of a character. I feel like she was definitely a character where she's interesting and I get what they were trying to do, but I just feel like, has she really, it sounds awful, has she really done much recently? Like, I know she had that big kind of story bit when she was first introduced, but like, I don't know. I don't know if she was a character that was necessary. But it's the comics, so like, I get it. So, I don't know. I'm not like, she's cute. I'm just kind of even less sure about her. And I do kind of actually no, they do make her wooden. They do make her look wooden. I don't know about Belle. I really don't. Oh boy. Love that she's the first female rival for Sonic. What? No, Blaze. Sorry, I completely forgot about Blaze for a second. I should specify. First ongoing, like, continuous, violent female rival for Sonic is what I should specify. Because Blaze, yes, was technically his first rival, but they pretty much squashed that pretty quick. Surge, it took a while. Like, she almost killed him. She was intense, and I love that. She was great. I'm trying to think. Unpopular opinion, so. She's not my favorite, but I get it. I get why people really like her. She's very gremlin coded. I really enjoyed the whole like I enjoyed the moment she had with the conductor's daughter where she was like, oh, I'm a hero, and like all that. Like, I love I always like the characters that are like reformed villains, but they can never kind of get it right, you know? Like, they always kind of revert in a way back to the old villain ways of like doing good by kind of fucked up and chaotic means, if that makes sense. So like, say if there was like a cat stuck up a tree, her way of getting the cat down would be like chopping down the tree, you know what I mean, and like causing more damage and everything. Oh, I don't know if there's if I have an unpopular opinion about her though. I like her. I just think she's neat. I guess my unpopular opinion would be I don't know if they should include her in any mainline games purely because her main story is done. Like with Tangle and Whisper, I can kind of get it. You can kind of do more of them. Surge, I feel like what's really made her interesting was her whole like villain arc and like realization of what Starline had done to her and Kid and everything like that. Like, it's kind of been addressed, and I feel like if she was added to the games, it really would be for fan service reasons. So I don't know if I would want her in the games. Sonic Rumble and like Crossworld, sure. But I just don't know. I don't know what they would be able to do with her in the mainline game. That's my unpopular opinion. Kit, underrated. Sega need to use him more. If you're gonna add Surge to Sonic Rumble and like Speed Simulator and Crossworlds and everything like that, he should be there. Like, I don't like how abandoned he is. He's literally like, Surge and Kit are supposed to be like Tails and Sonic. You know, like, or Sonic and Tails. Like, he should be there. They should be a package deal. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be separated. It's probably not an unpopular opinion to say that, but I don't really have many opinions that deviate from the general consensus of the fandom. So I'll just say that, I guess, that he's left out way too much, and he should be a package deal with Surge. Clutch. Clutch. I feel like he's a very interesting villain in the sense of like he's not. I feel like he should never be a villain that uses brute force. I feel like he should be a villain that uses his wits and like manipulation tactics and like is evil in that sense, if that makes sense. If that makes any sense. I don't think he should ever be a villain that gets his hands dirty. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's like in the comics. It's been a while since I read them. I don't think he's appeared massively like that much. But I like the idea of him being a villain that is evil in non-violent ways. Like a mob boss type situation, just without the, you know, him doing any of the dirty work. Alright. I really don't have any opinions on her. I just don't know if she should have been green. I feel like we have a lot of green characters in the IDW comics. So I don't know if she should have been green. She probably should have been like, I'm trying to think of color. Maybe purple. Or like if they were trying to make her look more unassuming, then maybe like beige or something. Or like yellow or orange or something. That's kind of it. I don't really have many opinions on her. Trip. Okay, I know one. I know one for Trip. I've said this before. Trip's design is much better with the helmet on. Significantly better with the helmet on. I not that I dislike her with the helmet off. It just feels a bit like, oh, like, okay, I guess. But like, the helmet was so cool and interesting, especially for like a female character. I really like the helmet on her. I think it's fine. It kind of adds as well to her whole like protector vibe and everything like that. Helmet and armor, or just helmet? I mean, I like the armor too. Like, if she's supposed to be like this defender of like her village, as it were, like I feel like she should wear it. Like that should be her main design, which is the armor and helmet. It just looks more interesting. Like I said, it looks so much better. It looks more interesting, and it's like unique from other female Sonic characters. So that'd be my unpopular opinion about her, because I see a lot of people say they really like her without the helmet. But nah, the helmet's so cool. I love it. Fang. Don't add Fang into the games if you're not gonna have been embarked with him. Like, I feel like he's not as interesting alone. He's much more interesting in the Team Hooligan group. So if they're gonna add him into more kind of games or comics or whatever, it should be with Bean and Bark. Because unlike Vector for the most part can kind of cope on his own without SPO and Charmy. Like, he's still a likable character. He's still interesting by himself. It just more so feels morally wrong to have Team Chaotix split up. But with Fang, it just kind of feels like he's not as interesting without Bean and Bark to kind of bounce off of. as it were. Nearly done. Oh god, there's more? Jesus. We're not gonna go through all this. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I think what we'll do, let's scroll through the character. Like, I'll scroll past any characters where I don't really have any strong feelings about. There's not, like, I'm gonna scroll past characters that I don't have an unpopular opinion about. Because if there's like an opinion I have where like I just kind of agree with everyone else for the most part, then I'm just gonna scroll by. I think let's do it that way. So Mecha Sonic, no. Arium, no. Chris. Do I have an unpopular opinion about Chris? Okay, I think I do. Chris, I can kind of understand some of his actions. Because at the end of the day, he may be rich and privileged as fuck and annoying. However, he was still a kid. At least in the first part of Sonic X. He was still a kid who was often neglected. He was neglected by his parents. And so often, yes, whilst he had Ella and Tanaka and his grandpa, for the most part, like, he never really had anyone that was kind of closer to his age to hang out with. He had Danny, but like, though actually the more I'm talking, the more I'm like, wait a minute, this kid actually had a lot of people. Well, maybe in the sense of like, he kind of wanted a purpose in his life. And Sonic helped him find a bit of more of a purpose in his life. So he didn't really want to let go of the adventures because maybe he was scared. I don't know, like, part of me kind of sympathizes with Chris. Kind of. Not much. Just a little bit. Just a smidge. Though I am of the firm agreement that, like, was it Helen? I think her name is, the girl in the wheelchair, would have been a much more interesting, like, protagonist for Sonic X than Chris. Definitely. Yeah. Alright. Cosmo. I guess what I had, mainly when I was younger with Cosmo, is that I kind of found her annoying. I don't know how unpopular that is. I just found her a little bit annoying. Maybe it's just because the 4Kids dub, the way they wrote her in the 4Kids dub was a little bit, I don't know. Like, I just found her a little bit annoying. How I shall know. Oh my god, people are actually mad about that. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I can't describe it. She just kind of annoyed me a little bit. I really can't explain why. I didn't hate her. She just kind of grinded my gears a little bit. So yeah. Oh, Mannequin Sonya, easy. I actually wouldn't mind them being a thing. I think it would be really interesting for Sonic to have these two as his siblings in the mainline games. And like, not minus the royalty part. They should not be royalty. God, no, they should not be like princes and the princess. No. No. Get rid of the royalty, like royal bloods. You know, bloodline thing. Have them be just average hedgehogs. And I just love the idea that, like, this whole time Sonic has had 2 siblings. And it's just a case of, like, yeah, I've got 2 siblings. Like, no one asked. No one's fucking asked if I, like, had a family. Or, like, you know. And I just love the idea. Again, I've said this before. I love the idea, especially with Manic, of Sonic having a brother that's a criminal. That's so interesting. That's so interesting that Sonic has a younger brother who is a criminal and a jewel thief. And then also like a younger sister who is a little bit pompous, a little bit like a material girl, and everything like that. I don't know. I think it would be really interesting. I think it would add a lot to Sonic, like backstory-wise. He needs a backstory, and I like these two. Just probably have Sonya not voiced by Roger. If you're gonna do it, like how they did in Underground, where Jalil White voiced her. Though mind you, he did a good job, considering. Sonic just going, well, you never asked. No, honestly, I think that'd be quite funny. But I like the idea. I like the idea of them being out there. Just again, minus the royalty part of it. Like, don't make them royal. They don't need to be. 9. I get where they were going with 9, but it's hard to properly judge because I didn't watch season 3. I lost interest in Prime. You know what? That's a point. I literally said I'd scroll past. No. Sticks. I can't remember if I said if I thought she should be in the mainline games. I don't think. No, I remember. I said I don't think she should. I don't think Sticks should be brought into the mainline games. I don't think they'll do much with her. I think Rumble is a great, like, again, Rumble, Crossworlds, any spin-off games, fine. Absolutely fine. She should be in spin-off games. Don't think they would do anything with her in the mainline games. I think she'll be wasted in the mainline games. Not as in drunk, but... Oh, it's true, she is technically in them. Ah, fuck. She did mention them. Again, I don't think they'll do anything with her. You know, I really don't. Yeah, it's kind of nice she transferred from Boom to the mainline games because she was an interesting character, like, concept. I don't think they'll do anything with her. I don't think she really needs to be there. And I feel like she's just gonna be kind of there, but kind of not sometimes. I feel like it's gonna confuse people that didn't watch Boom. Like, if you're trying to bring in, like, new audience or new gamers into the Sonic franchise, like, it's gonna confuse people, I feel like. No? I don't know. I just don't think she should be in the mainline games, but... Tom and Maddie. Honestly, probably the best companions that Sonic's had. Like, they're the human companions that I actually give a shit about for Sonic. And Sonic's had a few. He's had Elise, he's had Chris, Shara, Melina, and everything. Like, they're honestly the most interesting. I really like them. I actually give a shit about them. Which I was surprised. I really didn't think I would give a shit about them. I honestly thought when the movies first started that I would really not like them, but honestly, they have some of the best scenes. I really like them. They're great. They're very fun characters. Probably because they can fucking, like, they actually get involved. You know, and the movie doesn't focus, like, only on them for the most part. Like, they know how to kind of keep the main focus on Sonic. But I really like them. Why didn't they add Wade in this? We don't need it. I don't have an unpopular opinion, but I'm just gonna say it. It's not unpopular, but it needs to be said. Agent Stone would be really fun to be in the games. Agent Stone's a great character. He's definitely underrated. I honestly... I like... I love Jim Carrey, rather, as Eggman. I kind of wish that he would stop coming back, though, so Agent Stone can be an antagonist. I kind of want Agent Stone to be an antagonist for the next movie. I want him to have his moment to shine. Let him be a villain on his own. You know, like, I don't think we need to keep bringing back Eggman. I think Agent Stone should be his own thing. Also, it may surprise some of you guys, I didn't mind, I know that, like, I theorized before that, like, oh, because Rouge isn't going to be in the, or wasn't going to be in the third movie, I said, like, oh, I theorized that Agent Stone was going to take Rouge's kind of role in the SA2 story, and yeah, I stand by that. I was okay with that. I think he's, again, another great human character. I'm very surprised, actually, how, for the most part, the human characters in the Sonic movies are actually pretty good. They're actually pretty good. They're pretty solid. They're pretty interesting characters. I'm actually kind of surprised. Night and Dawn, I don't really have any opinion. My girl, I love Sally. Sally's a great character. I've always loved her. For any long-time viewers on my YouTube, you'll know that I love Sally. She's one of my favorites. My favorite Sonic pairing is literally Sonic and Sally. However, I love her. Don't bring her back. Like Shard said in the Twitch chat, her time's done. She had her time. She would only be reduced to like a background character. They wouldn't do anything with her. You know, I think her time's done. She's had a great run. She was in Sandy M. She was in the Archie comics, obviously. She was briefly in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, she's had a great run. I think it's time to move on from her. Actually, I don't want to say move on. I think we should still talk about her. I don't agree with the whole, like, let's petition to get her in the games. I used to be, but now I'm like, no. I don't think she needs to be there. Never unpopular opinion, I will say, actually. I don't know if I was a fan of, like, Sally and Nicole getting together. Like, in comparison to Sonic and Sally. I think Sonic and Sally had a much more interesting relationship, or like a romance, than Sally and Nicole. I get why they did it, and I'm not against it. Like, I think it's sick, I think it's awesome that she's bisexual canonically, like, fantastic. But Sally and you, no, Nicole the HoloLinks. But it just, I don't know, it felt a tiny bit forced. Especially when they had her and Sonic not really talk much during that time. Like, they really kind of just had Sonic and Sally stop talking to each other. Like, which is very weird, right? Like, it was very weird that he had the whole moment of running to her, hugging her, crying that she was okay. And they never really, like, broke up, quote unquote, and then they just kind of suddenly, now there's no romance between them. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just felt very weird the way they handled it. Especially when it was for a romance, or like an implied romance, because I don't think they ever fully got to do it. I know Ian Flynn wanted it to become more of a thing, but then Archie stopped doing the Sonic comics. At least have them have a talk and put their feelings down. Exactly. Like, they didn't do that. They just had Sonic and Sally gradually stop talking and interacting with each other. It was really weird. I didn't like it. But like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Sally and Nicole. I can see where people are coming from in terms of like why they ship them, and honestly, perfectly fine if you do ship them, because at the end of the day, they were gonna be a thing. Just for me personally, I prefer Sonic and Sally together. I think that just dynamic-wise, it was, for me personally, much more interesting. Yeah, in terms of like before the Genesis Wave, Archie, Sally, she was definitely a victim of piss poor writing, 110%. Granted, she had a lot of great moments in Archie, a lot more good than bad, but the problem is people focus on the bad, like her slapping Sonic, which, you know, it's not a good reflection of her character at all. She had a lot of, like, she really suffered from some of the insane writing, especially via Ken Penders. So I think a lot of people judge her on that, and they shouldn't, but yeah. People just like Sally due to how they saw her as rude and obsessive she was for Sonic, which is crazy, yeah, because I remember during that time a lot of people would like actively, for Son Amy like fanfics and all that, they would have Sally be this mean popular girl and everything like that. Stash Hand, thank you for the $6 donation to the coffee. I miss Sally Acorn, she deserves some justice. I agree. But yeah, it's like you said, people were like, oh, she's so obsessed with, like, she's trapping Sonic, she's not letting him go, even though she literally, like, would join him in the freedom fight stuff and everything like that, so, no. And Amy was way more obsessed with him. You know, I don't know. It's
there is just no notification sound alert.
It's I'm trying to figure that out on coffee. That's fine. But But no, I love Sally. I think she was overhated. She's one of my favorites. I love her and Sonic. Like, if Sonic's gonna be with anyone, for me, it's always gonna be Sally. Even though I like other Sonic ships, like I've started to like Sonic Amy more. Sonic and Blaze has its charms and everything. Sonic and Shadow. I mean, come on, Sonic and Shadow. Kind of goated ship. However, as much as I love Sally, her time's done. I think there'll be no reason to bring her back, which is a shame, but I'm just thankful she was a thing. You know, like, don't be sad it's over, be happy it happened, sort of thing. Alright. It's a Telstol, not really got opinions. Scourge the Hedgehog. Do I have unpopular opinions about Scourge? I don't think so. I don't think I do. I think most people agree when I say, like, I think with Scourge the Hedgehog, I tend to, like, be in the majority when I say that I actually really liked him. I like the concept of him. I think he was really interesting. It's literally like what Sonic could have potentially have been. Like, he could have been this evil dickhead. You know, I like the inverted kind of color scheme. So there's not really much to say, I don't think. I just like him. I think he's neat. Bunny Rabbit, and again, not much to say. Goated. Antoine Decoulet. Downgrade in the pre-Genesis design. They kind of, you know, they took away a lot of his, like, originality after the Genesis wave. They kind of gave him a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a more bland character design. With Bunny, though, actually, I actually think I prefer Bunny's post-Genesis wave design than her pre-Genesis wave design. Rhoda, underrated as fuck. Honestly, he was probably one of the more interesting members of the Freedom Fighters. Shara is a very, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. Shara is a very good example of, like, what it's like to be a victim of a toxic relationship. I know people probably found her annoying when she was like, I just want to be back with Eraser Jin, even after all he's done. But that's literally how it is. That's kind of how it is. I don't want to get too much into it. But that's literally how it is. And I think she's a very good representation of that. And I think it is important for kids to kind of, well, not like, or like force it to them. But I think it was good to include that in the game, like for kids. I think it's a very good life lesson. Similar to how Black Knight had a life lesson, I think that's a very good life lesson. So I think she's a very good representation of being a victim of a toxic relationship that you know is bad, but you don't want to lose the good aspects of it, if that makes sense. Eraser Jin, he had more potential. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with him, especially in the whole, like, kind of toxic relationship side of things. I feel like they could have done more, but they didn't really. He's not terrible, he's just a bit, you know, he's there. Melina, very good, probably the best twist villain. Actually no, she's the only twist villain, right? Is she the only twist villain we've had in a Sonic game? I think she is, right? I think she is. But she was a great villain. We need more female Sonic villains. Definitely. We really need more female Sonic villains. But she was interesting. Again, very, very good lesson. Like, life lesson. Like, not wanting to let go of, like, the idea of, like, you know, dying being scary and not wanting to kind of, like, let that, yeah, trying to find a way to stop that when it's just part of life. The end wasn't really a twist villain though. When I say twist villain, I mean a character that you fought and was portrayed as, like, good, only to actually know they're the villain. You've actually been working with the bad guy this whole time. lyric. There. His design's cool. I just kind of wish they did more of him. You know, they didn't really do much of him. I think we're nearly done. Yes, okay. Shade. This will piss people off. I don't want it to ever come back. She did not... She had a very... similar to Trip. Her masked design is better than her unmasked design. And... I think... I didn't find her that interesting. I like Sonic Chronicles, I just don't know if I found her massively interesting. I don't think she should come back. I don't think... Yeah, I just don't think she should come back. She's not really one of my favorites. I don't hate her, I just think she's a little bit pointless. A little bit. She didn't really add much to in the grand scheme of the Chronicle story. From what I remember, she didn't really add much to it. Her armor's cool. Yeah. So yeah, alright. And then finally, Lumina and Void. Really cool character designs. First off, really cool character designs. I actually wouldn't mind seeing these two come back. I feel like they probably should have come back in Sonic Dream Team. If they were going to come back. Again, similar to Chip, I kind of wish they were brought up again. I like the concept of them. Other than that, that's kind of it for them. To be honest. Yeah. Alright. So we somehow managed to get through all, I mean, not all of them, but we managed to get through most of these characters. We only like missed a couple. But that was literally just because I like had no unpopular opinions about them. Yeah. God, so many. My throat. Ooh. But we did it. Hell yeah, we did it, everyone. Oh. My goodness. Right, let me actually switch back to the just chatting screen. There we go. Yeah. That actually ended up being like a usual 3-hour stream. But I felt like, again, I felt like it was a really fun kind of idea. And I'm glad people seem to enjoy it. Would people want more like kind of just chatting stream, like just discussion streams? Because I always worry that people would find it boring. That's why I don't really do them as much. Like and like they may be shorter as well. Sorry, hold on, I'm just closing. Sure, it'd be neat. I don't mind. Nice stream. This was fun, right? Okay. Well, I mean, if I see any more like threads similar to that, I think what I might do, instead of like posting the opinions on Twitter immediately, what I might do is I might like save the tweet or like save the links to those tweets maybe and like use them for future Chill Wednesday stream ideas. Cause yeah, people seem to enjoy. I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah. Ugh, but I gotta start because my throat's sore. All right. So the plan tomorrow, because we finished Sonic 06 on Tuesday, innit? The plan tomorrow is we are going to be playing Fortnite. Yeah, because I've actually been getting into that recently, which helps that, yeah, it helps that, you know, Sonic's in it. But we'll be playing that tomorrow. Whether or not I have people joining me, you'll find out. I'm sure I'll find out as well. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. Friday, depending on my doctor's appointment and the outcome of that. Friday should be us doing the event stream where we all make a Sonic OC together. So you guys, the chat, will get to vote on like what kind of Sonic OC we make. You get to vote on the gender, the animal, the personality, the clothing, all that good shit, right? And I will draw it out. Again, depending on what the doctor says, if the worst case scenario happens and I'm not able to draw, then I'll probably just do it like via a old character creator thing. We'll find a way, I'm sure. I'll make it work. And then Saturday, me and Real Deal Danger are going to be hopefully finishing off We Were Here Together, which is a co-op puzzle escape room type game. Yeah. So other than that, thank you all for joining me. Let's see if we can find someone to raid on Twitch. Ugh, it's so rude. Shino just started. So she's been streaming for a bit. Let's see. You know, we'll do Shino. Oh god. Shino is, I don't know what he's watching now. He's doing a just chatting stream. So I don't know what he's watching, but you guys will find out. Alright. So thank you all for watching. It's been really fun. I will see you guys tomorrow for some Fortnite. Some cringy Fortnite. Yeah. Alright, have a fun, safe evening. Goodbye.